All right,
The first
everybody.
fight.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome,
You made me
everybody.
cough. I'm putting you're making me cough.
You guys got
Hello.
fucking bug in my throat. I apologize. I'm Toad. This is Lethal. We're Lethal Toad. We like trading cards. We
Hello.
like MMA. We like betting, and we like this shit. We like it a lot, so much that we decided let's just do it. We shoot this shit, have such a good time. There's no way that if you don't bet, collect cards, watch UFC, that you can't have something from this. I'm having a fucking blast. This is one of the kindest, nicest mans out there, but his collection is killer. Please drop my man Lethal Hands Collectibles a huge like, follow, and check out his giveaways, dude. He's literally has put up stakes for thousands and thousands of dollars for his own fun and entertainment. And go ahead and explain yourself there. What's this thrill? What's this rush that you get from putting thousands of dollars on the card for a fight night?
I tell you what, brother, it's like the fucking Hunger Games of collectors, man. It's like fucking you put up the goddamn prize and you see the Hunger Games. You see them. People don't realize what I got in my little fucking back room over there. Uh, I love watching the thrill.
I love it
I
too. It's
love
fun.
getting so close, dude. Before we even got fucking started doing this, you started following me, and you started doing the comps, and you were fucking like one fuck, like oh my god, like people were getting close, and then I realized there's some fucking skillful dudes out there, mate.
Yeah, the
There's some
Noche.
people
It
out
was
there.
the Noche
Yeah,
card.
there's people that got game. They got some fucking skill. And, like these comps were bringing in 25, 26 people. I'm looking. I've only lost twice. I've only lost twice. And I can't tell you that cost me around 2 grand. So, it's not like I want to lose $2,000, but I tell you what, you pick the cards, you pick the cards, you pick the whole card. It's a passion of mine to try and pick the whole card because I have a passion not about gambling. I don't gamble on horses and I don't go and play pokies and I don't buy a fucking lotto ticket. But what I do is I spend every Sunday and I'll spend up to $100 to $300. And that's my shit. And I usually do. I think I've got around an 80% return. Whether it's a small win or a big win, like last week, I put in $100. I walked out with like 260. The week before, I walked out with like 400 or 500. Yes, there's some weeks like the Katona week that sort of destroyed everyone. We have those weeks where we all bank on someone and it didn't happen. But that's just life, mate. But just love the rush, brother. Happy to be part of it. Happy to fucking do our shit and mate, like just jump in because this is all about the community. We talk about this when we first started doing this, when we wanted to do this. This is going to be about community. This is going to be about fucking because we're all novices, mate. Everyone thinks they're an expert, but we're all armchair fucking fighters. We all sit in the fucking background in our big fucking armchairs with our big fucking fat cards and our big fucking voice, and we all have
Fat
an opinion.
fucking, yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, we all have an opinion. We all fucking sit there on Sunday or Saturday in your time. We all jerk off and call this person a fucker and call
We
that
just
person a
fucking sit
wanker.
around toking up like cavemen, drinking our shit,
There
fucking
you go,
begging for
right?
the
Yeah,
fight.
let's
Dude, my
fucking
bad
full
card
fucking
this
Hunger Games,
fucking
right?
morel
But at the end of
mushroom.
the
This
day,
like morel
we all have
mushroom
our opinions.
staff.
And
He's such an
where's that
OG
from?
caveman. I love him, but look at me. So, yeah. Hey,
But look, at
anyways,
the end of the day,
yeah.
this channel's all going to be about, man, hey, let's talk fucking shit. Let's have a go. You know, it's no one's opinion, but I like to be a lawyer. I like to be right all the time. When I have an opinion, I'm not having an opinion. I'm having a fucking discussion.
Sure.
So if you think this is going that way, I'm having a discussion. So if these people want to come on and have a discussion with us, we'll have a discussion. Don't be nice. Let's discuss. If I say something offends you, don't be fucking offended because I don't care. because this is all an opinion and we're all entitled to that. It's called freedom of speech. Isn't that right? What it's called in the States, isn't it? You have this
Yeah,
big freedom of
100%.
speech thing there.
You guys,
In Australia, we can't say shit. We tell a copper to get fucked. We go to jail. So we don't have much freedom of speech over here. We're pretty fucking, yeah, like that. It's pretty much done. So we're pretty much we have to be nice to everyone because we go to jail.
like, basically at the end of the day, guys, you have to be confident to the degree that you believe it enough that you're betting money on it, or I don't know, yeah, maybe you like to pride yourself in having high pick accuracy, whatever the reason is, you're going to emotionally be invested in your picks as well. So when someone has the opposition of you, don't get offended, don't get defensive, just this is what it's all about. Try to take it from a, well, what did I miss, instead of like, yeah, I know some people are going to be assholes about it, and yeah, I can't speak for everybody, but when you're at Lethal Toad, it's, let's hear your case. Like, why do you pick this?
Why did
I'm not against your pick, and I hope a lot of
today,
cases you guys aren't
today
against
we
mine
have
too. I just want you to present your case, and I want to present my case. Have that conversation, and maybe together we actually get a read that we haven't quite heard yet. Because much of the MMA community is, this is the pick, this is the way it happens. Fuck you, and that's just not how it works. Like, Lethal's gonna have different picks from me. I'm gonna have different picks from him, and I look forward to seeing what we can kind of break down. And he might change his pick, I might change mine. And at the end of the
I
day,
was
this is
about
only
to say,
Tuesday for me,
in the
Wednesday
chat,
for him. We still have weigh-ins on Friday, and our picks could
thank you.
easily change too. So,
I would
boom.
call this the pre-pick fight. This is not my final pick because we're going to do another one.
Yes.
Our final pick will be after the weigh-ins, after they all sit back, after I watch the media interviews, after I watch the arrogance at the face-offs, or after I watch who's doing what, and then I will sit back and I will. Oh, that's my dog. And then I will sit back and then I will make my final pick. But right now, I'm having a bit of fun with you because I'm pretty sure what we're going to pick is what's going to go happen anyway. But you know what? Like we saw last weekend, God bless you, Macy Barber. I hope you fucking recover from your seizure. Um, we just don't know. You know what I mean? And this is why MMA is the greatest sport in the world, brother. It's not rigged. You know, it's not this. Shit happens. Things happen. You know, but if you're picking fighters out of passion, you can pick them out of passion on this channel. If you're picking them out of being a stat man, come on, be the stat man. Explain why. You know, explain yourself. Why do you believe, for example, Van is going to beat Bruno Silva? You know, like what at $5? Like we'll get to that. So
Yeah,
these
we'll
are the
get to that here
reasons. Like
soon. But yeah,
yeah.
no,
So
I
these
just,
are some
it's a
of the
good
reasons
intro.
why.
It's a good intro into the prelims. Just kind of putting that out
Yeah.
there. Like, some of us are going to be the type that want to watch tape. Some of us just have our own past fight memories and reads. I make notes to myself about fighters, and last week, one of my notes I should have listened to a little bit more carefully. I had Elise, the first fight on the early prelims. My only note I had for her is that she's tough. She's very gritty. She likes to swing and she likes to stand and take it. She smiled that whole fucking fight, getting punched and delivering way more powerful, devastating shots back. That was a misread,
I won.
easy, that I could have avoided
I won most of my
had I heeded
fights.
to my own advice. But Santos couldn't get a trip or takedown, and I thought we could get at least to the ground, win by control time or a submission.
Mate, the reason I got that, I didn't know much about her either. I would not say I studied tape, just going through Insta, checking out what other people's opinions are. One guy tipped that. One guy tipped that and just went, that chick's going to win if she stands up in front of her face, stands in front of her toughness. So I just went, wow, at $3.75, you know what? I'm no expert. There's plenty of other people who've got skills. We have skills. We might know this fighter, but this guy knew that fighter. You know what I mean? So this is what this channel is all going to be about. Come on, give us your picks, mate. We might actually be able to pull off some fucking cash here if everyone gave us their thing and we can put together something. You know, it's not about I'm winning and I'm the best and I'm the best picker in the world. Lethal told us about, man, we want the best pickers in the world. We want to mine our brains together and we want to sit back and go, why? Because you know what? I agree with that. I'm thinking I'm going to go here now. You might be able to change like a jury in a court. You might be able to change it. MMA MMA Pup, who won the two GSP cards, was the only one to pick 12. Now, the example of that is he was the only one to pick 12. If we listened to him, if he was on the show and
What
gave
did
us
I
that
pick? 10
perspective,
or 11 on that
you
one?
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we might have actually changed our thing. We might have followed it and gone, wow, that perspective is really cool. You know what? He might just say, I have a feeling. We might just follow him for that. But people might have won more money if he was on the show, for example, and he
Sure.
gave us that.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
It
this show's about, mate, like we want to give our picks, but we also want people to fucking sort of hopefully make some coin out of this stuff. You know, like
sure.
I make a little bit of coin every Sunday. I don't walk out too disappointed. Um, you know, the coin I made from last Sunday, I've actually put into this Sunday. So I got $256. I left it in the sports bet, and I've got it all for Sean O'Malley. So I
Yep.
got $256 ready to rock and roll, brother.
I like I said, I boned myself by expecting Reese and Dusko not to go to the full 15 minutes, but otherwise my Jacoby knockout, I just kept that balance right there and said, "Hey, 140 some odd bucks, 150 bucks. Yeah, let's roll with that next week." So that's what I'm looking forward to. And I felt like had the Blanchfield fight happen, that could have been more. I had distance under on a parlay, and I had Blanchfield by a finish. So
Yeah. We all had it. But like I said, I'm all good this week. We're going, and I needed to start with these prelims, brother, because I have no fucking idea what's going on. So you got three fights right here
yep. So
to
I
let
got them
go.
pulled up in front of me, and we'll talk about them here. All right, so we're gonna get right down into it. Again, I'm MMA Toad. This is Lethal Hands. You guys are checking out Lethal Toad MMA. It's gonna be a great ass time. We want your opinion. Give us your picks in the comments. Give us some of your favorite bets. If I see something I like enough, I will comment and say, I'm locking this in. I'm tailing this because I'll be transparent. There might be something I see that I like better than anything I thought. As a community, we can share this, be transparent, give credit where credit's due. But at the end of the day, if you're if you're like how do I say this, like courageous enough to do it in the first place, have your name on it and put it before the fights, give all respect. At the end of the day, you are your own decision maker. We're only here with our passion, our knowledge, and our reads, trying to share our takes. Obviously, if I'm trying to share a take and I see 20 people messaging me live on stream, or Lethal sitting here shaking his head, no, 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 I'm probably going to pump the brakes, right? So that's why, as a community, when you get to these actual split pick fights, that, okay, it's a coin flip fight, what's going on? We can actually leverage a lot of different takes, whether you watch tape, you watch the previous fights, maybe you were there in person. Who fucking knows what you saw? But just let's come together, rock this shit together, have a great ass time. But just keep it respectful, and at the end of the day, you do what you need to have a great time, and don't ever do more than you could ever bounce back from. Don't bite what you can't swallow. That's all I ask in this community because um, yeah, I've been doing pretty good. Lethal's doing pretty good, but everyone has their good weeks and their off weeks. So
Saying we will yell, we will scream, we will disagree. You know what? At the end of the day, we are human. We're always going to sit back and have a thing, but this is going to be a friendly place. Unless you want to get in the ring, join the UFC. If you want to fucking talk like a fucking human being, you can get on here and we can talk shit. Like right now, I will, for example, going to throw it back to the tape because I have done no research on the first three prelims. They do not interest me, Mr. Toad. I'm not interested in those first three. But I will watch them as an advocate. I've never missed a fucking fight in 12 years. I never any fight. Um, I want to see they can come from here, they can come from there. They can be off the Contender Series and go left and go right. If whoever these guys are, the only one I recognise is Krillin Clear. Uh, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But with that being said, when I don't have knowledge, everyone that's watching us, I'm not going to sit back and spoon shit to you. I have no knowledge on the first three fights. I know my man over here, though, fucking the Toad,
Yeah.
he's got all the knowledge because he knows his shit. So
Yeah.
let's go down to you, Toad. Break down the first three for me, mate.
Yep. And so I got a coin, heads or tails. No, fucking with you guys. But yeah, so the first fight here, you got Mark. He's coming out of college wrestling, from my understanding, D3. He's either a 2 or a 3-time, state champ. He's got a lot to prove in MMA still, and we all know that. Um, everyone could have the Bo Nickel pill. Like, and Bo's like an elite level, like probably one of the most elite examples we'll have outside of Gable. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this is such a rare one of one scenario that we'll see in a second. So Mark's not from that same cloth, but that also doesn't mean that A, he doesn't have half bad of a chin, B, doesn't throw half bad of a punch. And so I'm only making the college example because, okay, let's give this guy a shot. We honestly don't know a ton about his ability to kind of go through the storms, go through the chaos at a top level like the UFC. Now, you guys might recognize Markel was actually supposed to fight last week, and that fight was canceled. So my only thing about cancellations and fights is, some people, they might go through a cut, be ready to fight, have to end up cutting again because the fight's canceled. Their opponent ran into medical complications after the weight cut. Back-to-back cuts suck sometimes. So regardless of the cancellation situation, that's always tough. But basically, when I look at this first fight, guys, Markel's likely going to get it done just based on higher level of opposition. We already know he's good on the feet, right? The only thing that could actually surprise us is if Mark can actually submit
Fine.
takedowns and hold that shit
Can he
down.
actually fight?
Wet
Can he
blanket.
actually fight? Like, you know what? But what I'll just quickly
Yeah, go
interrupt
for it.
you. You were saying that he hasn't got the credentials as Bo Nickel and all that, but neither's Marab. Okay?
Yeah.
Marab hasn't got the credentials as Bo Nickel, but he's got the most takedown, then more than GSP and all that. So let's take away all this fucking lights and whistles. If you believe this guy, you know what I mean? It's got enough to there, but can he fight? You've got to be able to take a punch in the
Well,
face.
that's what
Can you
I'm
fight?
saying at this level. We haven't seen him in the storm. We haven't seen him in the chaos, and that's where I'm not going to go off that gut feeling like maybe he can. I'm going to go with Markel in this first fight because he's already proven that he can weather the shit that Mark has to.
Yep.
And we get high on prospects a ton in MMA. I think it's nice to just respect when someone's made it to the dance a few times, whether it went their way or not. That is leaps and bounds above a regional scene out of the United States in some cases. So, yeah, he's
Yep.
number 7.
You're all
He's number 7 in the
done.
Midwest at lightweight. He could shock the world here and catapult himself to being a damn near top 50 lightweight in the world. That is an incredible leap. So good luck to Mark. But as a pick, I'm going to just go with my gut, my instinct, go off the veteranship and fight experience that we know that he has.
Markel.
Markel's going to be just a more rounded fighter on the feet. Knockout.
Interesting.
Knockouts live. I mean, he's gotten 60% of knockouts, and he's never been knocked out himself. So if you want to see it there it is. But he's
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
live. He's very live for, being taken down and getting this fight where he's not such a killer. And that's where Mark, that's got to be
So
his,
this other gentleman,
yeah.
Mark, who's he in the big scene? Like, what's his claim to fame? Is he jiu-jitsu man? Is he
Yeah.
uh,
Most
submission?
wrestlers should
Oh
go
wow,
most
jiu-jitsu
wrestlers should
man.
go jiu-jitsu. It's probably the best base that supports their wrestling because why else would you have all this wrestling accolades, but then on the feet you're trying to strike and you look like Bo Nickel like a fucking idiot? I'm sorry, but you have to be confident in your ability to get the takedown. And with that takedown, how are you threatening to finish this fight? Because unless you're going to gas yourself out over 15 minutes and just wet blanket, you better know how to put some away. That's where obviously in
Dude,
Mark's case, he's winning
I
most of
love
his fights by
I love
submission.
jiu-jitsu,
You
mate.
know.
I love jiu-jitsu, and you know what? Every time I do punt, I punt on jiu-jitsu. I punt on the only one that actually wins for me. So here, jiu-jitsu's beautiful. Oh, if you're on the ground, that's why everyone started laughing jiu-jitsu. So small people, but in theory, man, in theory, jiu-jitsu is a skillful art. You got to be in perfect positions to do the perfect thing. In a street fight, it's pretty much fucking useless unless you have the guy on the ground to start with. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of a half here. So I've backed a lot of people that have all this jiu-jitsu, but I've always seen the wrestler just sit on top of him. And the jiu-jitsu guy, with all his beautiful fucking skills, there's only a few that can do it. You know what I mean? I'm talking only a multiple few that, like, you're talking Charles Oliveira's, you know, like Ilya Tapuria's that can sit back from the back and do some crazy shit. Damien Meyer, there's some, but that's 0.05% of the world. In the real world, um, what I have seen lately is the jiu-jitsu guys coming through, apart from Paddy. Paddy's sort of even not a jiu-jitsu guy, but he's sort of shining with that jiu-jitsu. They're not really working. They're not really working. The wrestlers, so you know what, without knowing this fight, like I said, we're just going through what I can see. Obviously, they put the submission dude with the fucking wrestler. The record's 10-1 and 8-0. Uh, Dude, I'm have to go with the wrestler as well without having any other, just being just say I was a dude at the pub, which I am right now because I have no idea of these fighters, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to play pretend. At the pub, I'm going to follow you because I'm going to go. I do understand jiu-jitsu and wrestling, and I do have that knowledge, but none of these fighters. So I'm going to go with you with the wrestler.
Okay.
I've just seen jiu-jitsu fail too many times lately. I haven't seen it being used as effectively as Hoist Gracie used it, as Mackenzie Dern, let's talk current, Mackenzie Dern uses it, Paddy Pimblett uses it. There's just not enough of them that use it that effectively. Until I see this guy, I can't punt on him. That's why I wasn't sort of looking at these fights.
Yeah.
But
So
thank
if
you
you're
for
if
that
you're fading the
information.
jiu-jitsu, then you're riding with me with Michael and winning this fight. Or sorry, Markel winning this fight. And I'm just gonna say prediction knockout. I think that again he's gonna be able to stuff the takedowns, weather that early rush, put Mark in a bad situation up against the cage. Mark could also put his head out of place and just eat a fucking huge like knee or something. So I'm gonna go with Markel. He probably gets it done by first or second round knockout at a
All
lightweight
right.
division.
So
That's my prediction.
that's Markel done.
Okay.
Who we got next on
Yep.
your little list there, my friend?
No, you're good. Uh,
Quinlan Cleed?
yeah, you got Selkeed and
Correct me if I'm
Yamel
wrong.
Ashmoose. Ashmoose, if you remember, he fought Trevor Peak.
Oh,
Yeah, Trevor
okay.
Peak was just coming out swinging. Yamel was able
Yeah,
to
yeah.
basically weather it on the feet. I mean, it's not like he got beat a bunch in that fight. Trevor was just kind of going wild, and Yarnell was able to just to keep his composure. But yeah, by decision, yeah, he won that one by decision, and he lost to Chris Duncan. However, Duncan went
Yeah,
to a
yeah,
decision,
yeah.
which is
Mate, and
impressive.
you know what? I respect Chris Duncan.
Me too.
Look, I might know not this guy, but if Chris Duncan's on the resume that this guy has beaten,
He's lost to
then
he lost to him via decision though. That's what I think's
oh,
impressive.
okay, he lost to him, yeah. Because I was about to say, but to get to the decision, Chris Duncan. Do you know who he reminds me of? Fucking no shit. I know you're a great fan, and I am too. Dustin Jacoby. I think Chris Duck. They both fight the same way. They're both aggressive. They both fucking not scared. You know what I mean? So that's why I was
But
surprised
Duncan's
if this
definitely
guy
hunting
beat
those
Chris
submissions
Duncan.
and shit, right? That's where Duncan's going out there, fucking going out hunting for those submissions. Whereas to Jacoby, he's a kickboxer. He's range checking, he's fading, he's reading, he's downloading. Now he
Yeah.
attacks and he knocks people out pretty
No,
quickly.
no. No, I just find, and that was no disrespect to either. I just found Chris Duncan is as I love Jacoby's aggressiveness. Like that's why we watch him fight. Man, he goes in there to fight. He literally sits there in a phone box, and he's not scared to walk outside of that fucking phone box. You know, and sometimes you don't walk out the phone box. Sometimes you do, and he's been walking out the phone box a fucking long time now. So Jacoby's been doing really well. I was just surprised at that guy because Chris Duncan's he's sort of in the back burner right now. But you know what? You always respect to these UFC fighters. No one's on the back burner. You know, you reestablish, you regrow, you rebuild. But Chris Duncan was sort of a scary man. It was, you know, they're sort of like, well, okay, Chris Duncan, that's not going to be an easy one. That guy's actually wants to fight. He doesn't want to point fight me. He wants to sit in the pocket and beat the shit out of me. So yeah, I'm all good with that one, man. Like who did you go? Quinlan or
So no, we haven't really broke down this fight a ton. So I was just gonna say that.
you got that?
How's that fucking notepad treating you over there, pal? Fucking with you.
I got a couple of scribbles here. Look, I'm ticking shit off. I'm ticking shit off, my friend.
I love it. Listen, this is. I'm gonna call this a pick'em for me. It's not that I did download it and look at it some. I respect the fact that he went. I'm sorry, I'm talking about Ash Moose. I respect that he went to a decision with Duncan versus getting finished, and I respect that. Yeah, he can go crazy in gunfights and find a safe way not to get knocked out. Is that's exactly what Quinlan's gonna hunt for. He's gonna hunt for the finish. I could see a submission happening where Ashmoose is trying to wrestle, counter wrestle, put his head off to the side, keep his head kind
Yep.
of safe in that gunfight. Possibly it's like a clinch up against the edge of the octagon, but I could see Quinlan hitting that shot, dropping Ashmoose, and now we're hunting a submission. Depending what that fight may look like, it's another lightweight bout, and it's my favorite division in the entire UFC because at 155 pounds, for whatever reason, a lot of these guys possess the power to knock each other out, but they also possess like the perfect like toughness to eat it until their chin becomes someone like Drew Dober, and but you enjoy it while you got it. It makes for some of the best car crashes in the entire UFC. These fuckers can stand toe to toe, cracking, smiling, having a good time. So all these
So it sounds
OGs that
like
are
a
about to
decision.
retire at 155 pounds, that's why. It's something about not having that extra 20 pounds of muscle and swinging at 170 pounds or so plus, because that's when you start possessing that one hitter quitter. So these guys are live for it, but don't be surprised if this becomes a 10-15 minute round, like
Yeah.
gritty fucking
Look,
scrap by
from
both
from the
ends.
way you just from the way you're explaining it to me, just say I was a newcomer walking onto the scene. The way you're explaining it to me, you're saying I've got 15 minutes. I can have a couple of beers during that. It's they're sort of going to sit back and
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't think it goes 15 minutes, but I'm saying
oh,
don't
really?
be
Okay.
surprised if these fuckers buckle down and get gritty, but I predict there being a finish by second or third round.
By who?
Quinlan. I think he
Finland?
catches Ash Moose with a really bad shot that could drop him and then chase the submission and the control to the ground, or just feed some follow up shots. But I could see Ash Moose getting his head out of position and wanting to counter wrestle because he doesn't want to strike with Quinlan. But Quinlan possesses good grappling and jiu-jitsu and can hunt for the submission. Whereas to Trevor Peak, he's swinging bombs, but he doesn't know what the fuck to do off his ass. Is that fair? Off his
Yeah,
back. So I'm
yeah.
going Quinlan. So far we're riding the streak on the left side. If you guys are tailing these
Hey,
picks,
did they replace it? Is Trevor Peak fighting Quinlan?
no, I was just using as Moose
Oh,
his example of his last opponent.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Like I was like, wow. No, so look, like I said at the beginning, mate, this channel's about honesty. I'm going to be honest. I have no fucking idea about those two
All
at
right.
all. That's why they sort of didn't interest me. But that's why I have you, Toad, as my partner in fucking crime. You will enlighten me with your fucking knowledge. You
I'm
will
just
give
a
me your
fan, man.
insight.
I'm just a fan,
You
and
know,
I'm far
no,
from
no,
perfect on my
actually, and
picks,
you know
but
what? And that's why we're doing it, man. Because no one's perfect. So this is, and that's what we're going to tell all our followers right now. You don't have to come up here and pretend you know everything. If you don't know, listen, learn. If you do know, give us your opinion. You know what I mean? So in that one, I'm sort of out. I know who's winning the next one.
all right.
All right.
So
So I
next
don't
fight
know
on
the
the
other dude.
next fight on the early prelims. This is the one I told you you're gonna laugh at. That you didn't need to watch tape. You didn't have to read much, do much. I'm gonna play Guess Who or I Spy rather. I'm gonna show you something on the screen, and when you see
Yeah.
it, you'll know why this guy loses. Are you ready? Are you guys all ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
I'm
I'm
ready.
gonna take you saying you to win this, or
Yep.
Ju saying you to win this fight,
Yeah.
based on
Yeah.
what I see here with
Yeah.
Jacob. You guys ready for this?
Yeah. Sure.
It's on the screen. There's two of them. It's red. What do
Well,
you see? What do you see?
okay.
What do you
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
fucking?
Yeah.
What do you see? I can't. I guess I'm breaking the enlargement doing it that way. But what do you see? Do you see it right here?
What's the question? What do you ask me to look for? His losses or his wins?
Oh yeah, that was the there was like the riddle, like a spy. There's two on the screen. Well, there was two on the screen and it's red. So then you're like, okay, here's his two
Yeah. Yeah.
losses. And
Yeah.
then
So who are the
of the
two on the
two,
screen?
whose name do you read and imagine losing
I
to
can't
them?
see it, brother. If
It's
you could enlarge it.
fucking Jubilee. Motherfucker lost to Jubilee.
Oh, really?
And if you lose to Jubilee, you're
Yeah.
fucking done.
Yeah.
You're
So
fucking
I
done. That was
mate, is that
Jubilee's
and I know
debut, and
and
he
I
got
know,
performance of the night somehow. So not only did
brother.
Jacob lose, but you made Jubilee get performance of the fucking night.
Yeah.
Is
And you
that
know what
fair?
happened with Jubilee? That's the Indian gentleman. They came from India, and hey, I'm telling you, I'm part Indian. I'm actually excited to see because I'm going to tell you this is a bit of a joke, bro. Hey, as an Indian, we're meant to be pretty fucking passive. Yeah, passive fucking people. We fucking got Buddha and Hindu and fucking, and not that I do that because I'm actually live in Australia, so I'm an Australian, so I don't actually have a religion, but my grandparents do, right? My actually grandparents do, so they're all about being passive. So when I see someone come from India into the UFC, I actually spit out. I actually sit back and go, wow, like that chick. The chick that nearly won, that Indian chick that nearly won,
Yeah.
but then she lost against the by submission, Brannigan, the Irish chick, the fucking. She was fighting the Indian chick. So every time I'm just going back to the Indians, like we're not meant to fight. They're not fighters. I don't know where these Indian. There's one on the Ultimate Fighter house right now. So I've been catching up with the Ultimate Fighter, right?
Okay.
There's one
Yep.
in there right now. So I can't be racist by saying this. As an Indian, as an Indian man at 52, with all you Indians out there, all you 1 billion Indians, we can't fight. We can't fight. Okay? All right? You can keep on throwing shit in there, but we can't fight. I have an Ashmore Jubilee card in there. Fucking out of eight, it pulled out of a box, right?
Oh shit.
What do I do with that? You know, I'm like, do I put it on the golf shelf next to Hoyce Gracie,
Dude, I bought a
Vita
fucking Jubilee
Belfort?
gold label green card, which I think's like numbered out of 99. It's like Jubilee rookie. How could I pass this one up? And I got it for like $2
Yeah,
on
dude.
eBay, including free shipping.
Dude, you can't even, you'd have to pay someone to take that card back off you, dude. Like, I don't even know
Nah,
what to
man,
do with
that's
my.
for me. That's for me and all my homies. In fact, in case y'all see
Hey,
this video, I
hey,
want you guys to
hey,
bury me with that card.
one day,
Lethal.
hey, let's say, hey, let's not bag any fighter. Mr. Jubilee, if you ever get there, you fucking replay this fucking cast to us and I will eat my fucking words. but go back to India, man, make $1
I
million
thought you were
in
gonna say
Bollywood.
shit and then be like, you probably do that anyways. I'm joking.
No, 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 no. He needs to go back
I'm
to
fucking with
Bollywood,
you, bro.
man. Go and do Indian acting movies, do kung fu movies, do whatever he needs to do. He's a good looking man.
Yeah, no,
Bollywood
he's a
pays
bit of a
bigger
superstar
money.
over there, dude. He's got actually a
Yeah,
legit
yeah.
following. Just
That dude
MMA's not working out
does
so hot
not
for him.
need to fight. He can retire right now. Like that guy in India, Indians free. And again, for the fucking poorest country in the fucking world, they pay a lot of money to fucking rich people. So I don't know how that works, but we're not going to go to politics. But Jubilee, you're done. Go back to fucking goddamn acting. Become an Indian superstar. Right? There's only another Indian chick left. I can't remember her name. She was nearly winning that last fight against the Irish chick. Nearly winning. She did the head kick and the Irish kick. I actually won money off the Irish chick. I put $10 on a submission. Lorna, yeah, so I got $160 off that. But
Gotcha.
sorry, Indian culture. As an Indian, I'm going to say this to all the 1 billion Indians and Hindus out there. Hey, we're Hindus because we don't fucking fight, man. Don't hop in the ring. We're not animals. And don't try and pretend you won. We cook curries. We fucking are nice to people. Yep. And we just sit back and fucking, and that's all we do. That's what we're meant to do. That we're not meant to hop in the cage. So, sorry, Indians, dude. I'm not backing Indian fighters, man. I'm out. I'm out of the Indian fighter thing. I back a Dagestani fighter.
Well,
If it says Dagestan
let
flag
me
on there,
let
I'm
me
fucking
return
putting.
to lethal. Let me return to my original point of why I brought that up.
All right, man.
Ju-
I'm losing the
Jubilee beat
plot.
the
The
shit.
Indian fucking. You got me on Jubilee, brother. Jubilee
I know.
fucking. You got me. That guy
I'm
triggered me.
saying he beat the shit out of Jacob, and that was the joke. This is why Ju Seng Yu wins this fight. Do we all agree? That's the only
Yeah.
point I was making, Lethal.
Uh, No, once you
God
told me
damn.
about Jubilee, and you're like, oh God, that was a trigger. That like, and I told you, like, we
He
have this
just
bit of a person. I'm Indian,
PTSD
dude. I want
about being fucking Indian.
fucking Jude, fucking, and he's not even fighting the poor bastard. I just bagged him like he
I
was
know.
actually in the fight.
I know. God.
Poor
He beat
bastard.
the shit out
Poor
of this
bastard.
man. That's what I was trying to give him
I'm
his
sorry,
flowers.
Jubilee. Right, and here's a hit out to goddamn Shell Sonnen and the fucking bad guy. You want to see some shit, dude? You want to hear some stuff, Shell? Jump on right now, mate, at Lethal fucking Toad, okay? Because right now, you want to hear some unfiltered shit, all right? From an Indian to and hey, look, a mongrel Australian, brother. I'm Australian, I'm Indian, I'm German. Like, like a rabid dog, mate. Like, they call us mongrels over here. So, the mongrel. I'm the fucking mongrel, mate. Let's fucking go. You want to be the bad boy? The bad boy versus the mongrel and the toad, man. We'll change our name from Lethal Toad to Mongrel Toad. Fucking Shell Son and thinking he's the bad boy. I'm
Dude,
the bad boy of Australia, Shell. Let's
dude,
go. Anyway,
you are the
that
bad boy. You
promo.
just opened a fucking screen door for like 5 seconds. Do you know what that could have done to you in Australia? Having that screen door open for 5 fucking seconds? You could have just let in a single fly that could have bit your fucking nose and bursted your brain. Like, you
I
live
tell
in
you what,
Australia. Of course you're the baddest
I'll tell you
motherfucker on the
what could have
planet.
happened in that fucking time in Australia, brother. And this is what makes me more fucking bad than Shale, right? Is goddamn a kangaroo could have jumped through the door, put gloves on, 14-ounce gloves, because our kangaroos are smart over here, bro. They just don't fight. They fucking kit up. They kit up in gloves
I've
and they
seen it,
fucking
dude. I've
fight,
seen
mate.
kangaroos fucking drown dogs and knock out humans.
Alligators, man. I've got alligators. I've got all kinds, mate. Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are still out here, brother. We've got everything. Don't forget.
That's
All you
true.
guys over there think that we are still prehistoric. So I'm going to tell all you guys around the world, we are so tough. That's why we have the three greatest fucking champions. We have a Robert Whitaker. We have a JDM. We have a Volk. And down the road, we've got an Izzy just hanging out down the corner called New Zealand. right? Not bad for it. You know why?
You
Because
got
every day we get up.
Volkanovski, who's going to be definitely on that Mount Rushmore potentially here for a lot of people. If he's not already on his way to, he's fucking heading there, man. He's coming back. He did the only thing that 18 other former champions couldn't do at that age against a fucking gun, a loaded gun in Diego Lopez, who that fight absolutely tore, but I called it out. I saw Volkanovski training again, super distance because lighting. We'll fix this next time. Volkanovski training at in Thailand with Sterling, and I'm thinking to myself, um, okay, Sterling, Volkanovski. Do you know who Sterling might be trying to fucking spar as for Volk and give him the looks and the reads? Diego fucking Lopez. And this was before Ilya had confirmed he was laying down the belt and coming up and all this, right? Officially, I believe. Anyways, they had known it. Ilya, I guess, knew it. But, anyways, I called that fight out. I said, Volk's going to fight Diego and it's going to break my fucking heart. And you guys all missed a fun little bet that I made. I said I would match the haircut of whoever won that fight.
I,
So as long as
I
MMA
saw that.
Toad
I saw that. I saw
as
that. I actually saw that.
yeah, I said as long as MMA Toad YouTube hits 100 subscribers. We got 85 or so, 80 something. Sad because you guys were like 15 subscribers on YouTube away from making me go completely fucking bald and trimming this beard down to a shadow.
Well,
So
brother, I'm going to tell you what. This week, we'll see what we can do. You're going to either look like Marab or you're going to dress up like and get your hair done like Sean. You're
I
either going to go
I can go to
pink or
Halloween USA for $20 and buy a clown wig just fine. And Marab, he just shortens that shit up, so it's not the end of the world. So
all right. So you got your first three prelims.
yep, first three prelims. Let's finish up the early prelims. Actually, a decent fight. I want to go over briefly,
Yeah,
and
no,
I know
this
that
one
you
is
have
where
an
I
opinion
start.
on Kong Wing. I'm sure you do. So I'll let you open it up and tell me how you're thinking this fight goes.
Okay, I found her fucking great. I know she's the only woman to beat Valentina in professional kickboxing. Back in the day, she's got great stand up. I saw her lose as well. All right, we all did see her lose that one fight. Uh, Let me stop there. Let me go back to Limsky. She has okay. Wong hasn't shown me much. All right, the fight she lost, she got taken down. Um, you can all stand up. Now, what's Lipsky's fucking nickname? The Queen of Violence, right? Is that correct? The Queen of Violence? Ariana? Correct me if I'm
Um,
wrong, please.
yeah, Queen of Violence. Yep.
Yeah. So the Queen of Violence, when I first saw her come on the scene, I actually said, keep an eye out for this chick, right? So I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's really going on in her life personally. There's some losses up there. What's the last few losses?
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. I was gonna give her some flowers because at the end of the day, she lost to a future champion in Jazadivius, which we know is
Yeah.
on an absolute fucking tear right now.
Well,
And even then, it took Jasmine into the third round and a half to hit that choke. Um,
yeah.
I remember I actually missed my bet by a few seconds on this, so I was like, fucking screaming at the top of my lungs, but also happy for Jasmine. Big fan of hers, and she is also a Mud Hut enjoyer. So I like having her in the Mud Hut of MMA Toad community there. So she's
Nice.
just part of Niagara
Shout
Cop
out.
team. I support all of those guys. I was torn this last time between Radke and Malat, but that's because Malat gave me like a lot of weird feelings from his last fight, and it seemed like he lost
He's
his
a weird
confidence
dude.
when Magny, who's also another Mud Hut warrior, got the late round knockout on him. So, anyways, yeah, Malat earned
Shout
back a
out.
little bit of that respect and confidence. But going back to the Queen of Violence, just to recap, she's lost her last two bouts to Karine Silva and Jasmine Jezadivius. That's all I'm trying to say is those are not bad losses because those two
So
are fucking world
I
beaters.
I have a problem. The odds on my end are at $3.80 as a long shot for me, as my one of my stupid long shots. And I actually sort of believe in this one, and I'm hoping because I have followed the Queen of Violence. I am a fan of the Queen of Violence. The Joker does not interest me. You can come in with that stupid mask and that stupid face and do your stupid Joker shit. You know, it's all about the gimmicks. I saw you lose. I saw you lose, Joker, and you lost easily. You might have beat Valentina once when Valentina was 12 years old and you were six. I don't know what the age group was, but all I'm saying is I'm not confident in your skills enough at $1.16 to beat the Queen of Violence.
Well,
Now, with also being said, that's a personal parlay. My professional parlay, I've seen a lot of old school leaving the system. I've seen young people coming through in a lot of fights now. I've seen a lot of our favourites just losing. You know what? Not even famous ones, just small ones here and there. Beg your pardon. And I do believe Father Time has no mercy. And I do believe Wang Kong has got the stand up skills to take the old girl out. And I'm not saying she's old at all. She's beautiful. She's young. But in the fighting scene, you've been around for a bit of time. I'm just watching this happen. So my betting parlay from here onwards, I'm going Wong by decision or knockout. There's no submission. I I want my girl to win. I can't see it happening. I saw Wong's last fight was quite impressive. She went from the loss to the win. If you go back, I think on your stats, you had the loss and then the win. Um,
yeah, she beat Bruna Brazil.
yeah, and it was quite an impressive win. So I have to go Wong on here, but at those odds, I don't know those who are the Queen of Violence fans. I wouldn't mind putting a couple of bucks on that, but in my really, if I want to make money, I have to go Wong on this one, mate.
Yeah, so what I was gonna read on this fight is at the end of the day, Kong Wang, not a bad pick as far as getting your pick and your pick accuracy. But we know dogs bark and dogs pay the best too. So having something sprinkled on a Silva, um, like a Silva finish, just because I think if she did win, it would have to be an upset. I could see her losing easily 2 rounds in this bout. So I would have to see Silva win by a finish, I think, but that's just from like a long shot perspective. I'm sure if you look
Yeah,
at distance no on this women's flyweight, mind you, a lot of judges, a lot of sport bookies, they do over 2.5 or distance yes. A lot of people expect women's MMA to go to the judges a lot. I would reckon this is a good fight not to expect the judges as a way to
I,
open
I
up the card.
I really hope Lipsy comes out. And you know what? If I lose a couple parlay, my whole bet's based around this fight. But I'll put a couple early prelim fights on. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And she will be on one of my parlays. She will be on there. I hope she pulls it off. I'm a massive fan. Um,
let me just kind
but
of wrap
like,
up my read real quick. The reason why I like Distance
yep.
No more than Kong Wang is you're not going to get the best prop on a fighter that's heavily favored. Like that's just how MMA betting works. You just if you're negative 300, there's not a lot for you there. So then you start looking at submission and knockouts, and that's great. If you can do a single method and maybe do a parlay with it riding both ways, one by knockout, one submission, cool. Some people will do double method, submission or knockout, fighter to win by finish. That's all fine and dandy. The reason why I like distance no better here is Silva does have the kind of stand up that can knock Kong Wang on her ass. I'm not going to say out,
And the
but
submission game.
that's how that
Don't
first
forget her.
submission, that's how her loss occurred. She got fucking dropped on the feet when everyone doubted her out by a far significantly less striker. So De
Brother,
Silva's definitely live in this fight to pull an upset.
it's not a stupid bet. It is not a stupid bet at all. Charles Sonnen said one day on one of his shows, he went through odds, right? So basically, he said if it's $3.50, 3 to 1, it's sort of close. Maybe like he goes 2 to 1, close. 3 to 1, they're gonna win. He goes when he hits 4 to 1, he goes fuck. They're nearly in hospital. 5 or 6 to 1, they're in a stretcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, and I sort of do agree with that. Like when it's $5, $6 to 1, that's stretcher mode. So every time I look at the parlays now, I always have Shell's fucking stupid head in my head going, dude, 2 to 1, 3 to 1. In Australia, she's $3.75. She's nearly in a stretcher,
yeah.
according to Shell. She's
Well,
nearly,
look at the
she's
odds
not
again.
safe.
Kong Wang is negative 500 favorite. I'm just saying it
Yeah.
again. If distance is no, right? If the fight doesn't go to the judges, that's cashing. And so again, I'm just gonna say I don't even have the prop up in front of me, but I know women's MMA and they don't respect the finish often. If you're high on Kong, think distance no and cover your ass in case she gets dropped again, because I know a lot of you didn't do that the first time around when she got submitted, and that was a fight I cashed on also. So that's my read.
Dude.
But I'm gonna go as a pick Kong Wing. As long as she doesn't get upset, she's very live to get the finish as well. All right.
So, yep, we're going Kong. Lipsky is our long shot.
Yeah,
Uh,
Lipsky by finish is a long shot. Just
yeah,
because we know that Wang's been submitted, and
yeah.
Lipsy's, she's got good legs in the sense where she could rip a triangle too if she was off her back. Like she has that
And I never
ability.
like to say the word retire. No one needs to retire. But what I have been seeing is, dude, what the UFC does, man, they're lining up the old with the new. Okay? It's just plain and simple. If you haven't done much, here you are, Ariana Lipsky. You've been good, all good, but here's fucking this chick. All right? Plain and simple. She either needs to win or she doesn't. I believe her contract would be in jeopardy at slightly if she loses this fight. If
Yep.
she wins, Hong's contract might be, because if you can't beat the old woman, dude, right? Who's
So,
on her way out anyway.
well,
She's Ariana's like on her way out, like Andrade. You're all on the way out, but they
sure.
keep on giving them the young people, right? And these young people are just destroying them, absolutely just mauling them. I'm hoping this doesn't happen to my beautiful girl Lipsky, man. Fucking hard out
The
to you.
thing I was
You
gonna
go with
give
it.
Wang at the end of the day, even if she lost this fight, um, well, that's unfortunate. Let me pull that back up. If she lost this fight, she's still an exciting fighter. She's
Yep.
still a fighter out of China, and we all know that's a great recipe to be part of
If
Fight
she
Night
gets
China
submitted
or
again,
Australia
if she
Perth.
gets submitted again, brother, she's not that exciting. If she gets down and gets submitted one more time, right,
Yeah,
you're
she's
just another
exciting for me
fighter.
though because I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep making money off her. You see, I'm excited for her to fight. I'm
I hope you
excited
do.
because I like finishes too. To be fair, that's why
Yeah.
Anthony Smith is like one of my favorite fighters because I
Oh,
loved watching him curl into
did
a
you see that
fucking ball.
royalty card that was in the bundle? There was a 25 Smith signed. I couldn't believe everyone laughed. That was thrown in. I guess old mate, he threw it in because he thought it was shit. Like he gave me a whole heap of shit royalties.
Yeah.
I thought they were fucking cool royalties, man. Like awesome. And that Smithy card, I'm putting that in my shelf, brother, because Smithy Lionheart picking up his teeth that day. We've talked about that
Oh
before.
yeah, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
mention it
Painting the
publicly.
teeth
Yeah,
over to
yeah.
Herb. Oh yeah,
Never fucking forget it.
yeah.
So we've gone Wong.
I
Wong's
was
going to
told.
do it unless
By the way, to
Lipsky.
clarify, I'm not that heartless for the Lionheart, of course. Anthony Smith's just one of those OG kind of guys. He was doing pretty damn good for a minute before the evolution of MMA caught up to him, and age and father of time. He got to deal with that crossroads together. Otherwise, he was actually kind of fun to watch for a bit. I enjoyed
He
his
is the
fights.
fighter that I would love to not even just meet. And I just, if he was sitting at a pub, I'll go, wow, are you Anthony Smith? I know he would actually sit back and not be a dickhead and go, yeah, I am. How are you, mate? I'm like, not mate, but g'day. Or not even g'day. I don't know how you guys speak there, but you know what I mean.
G'day,
Like,
oi.
yeah, hello. Yeah, hello. Yeah, good. Yeah, I don't know whether you tip your hat or not. You do high fives, but however you introduce yourselves in a casual, happy mode, I believe you would be that fucking person.
For sure. No,
All right.
he does seem like a really nice guy. I enjoyed watching the vlogs when Hill was getting ready for Poetan and he was training out of Black Lion, which is like 40 minutes from my house, by the way. Jamal, I saw you flash in the 50 G's, said anyone can come get it, come on through. Why didn't you respond to me, my man? Why did you respond to me? I need that.
Mate,
I need that money. We're local. You're helping the economy in Michigan. You know what I'm
Anthony
saying,
Smith is the
Jamal?
most
When you flash in
scariest
that cash that
looking
says
man.
anyone can come get it, answer my messages, my bro. I know you got to show up and
Anthony,
fight. I intended to. I don't expect to win, but I'm going for that money. So, come on, bro. Hit me up. Let's do this. Black Lion, 40 minutes from me. You pick the time, pick the day. Let's roll up and let's get it. It'd be cool. It'd be an honor to get fucking dropped by you, bro. Let's do it. All right, let's go. All right, moving up the
love your
card.
work, fella.
Fucking prelims now.
Oh, mate,
We've
we're up to
graduated.
Luke and we're up to Luke and where are we up to?
That's what I'm saying. We got to keep going, and I'm gonna keep us
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
keep us
yeah,
on
yeah.
track. Moving on
So
forward, but I
where
want
we
to
at?
hear your takes as well. All right, so moving up the card, Chaos Williams is getting the rescheduled. Gustafson, obviously, his opponent pulled out. Um, bro was like fainting on the scales. His last opponent, Trevin Giles, was it like feigning, just
Yeah,
cutting weight, couldn't show up. Now, see, a lot of people in that fight, they had Giles with the pro experience. How many fighters have we seen come off? One of Dana White's shows, show up to the UFC level and get the reality check.
yeah.
Gustafson is neither amazing or poor. It's like when he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. What I liked about Gustafson is his ability to use those killer instincts, his inside clinch work, his knees, his elbows. That's why
That's
it's
not the
like,
Gustafson that fought John Jones, is it?
no,
That's
no,
not the
no,
same
no.
one.
No,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
Andreas Gustafson. He goes by Bane. He was what was this? Contender Series 2024.
Oh, yes, yes,
And
yes,
look at,
yes.
I was
Now
just
I
talking
know.
about his knees. There you go, knees to the head,
Yeah,
round
yeah.
two finish. So again, I like this guy's inside work, his clinch work, but when he's at range, I honestly expect Chaos Williams to hit him with that big shot. And so I think the game plan for Gustafson is to work Williams up against the edge of the octagon, keep the fight dirty, close. Don't let Williams sit at range and set shit up. And that's where I could see it ending. And so I'm going to go on Chaos Williams to get this fight done by a knockout. Um, but from a betting perspective, to be safe, I also think this is a great fight not to expect it to go to the judges. Because if it's not Williams' veteranship, killer instinct, and setting up the big shot, it's Gustafson getting close, crossing the void, and having some crazy knees and elbows to get his own finish. So I like this fight within the first two rounds.
All right, I'm going to keep it quick for you too, Toad, man, because I know fucking I talk a lot, right? So, uh, what I know about Chaos Williams. Wow, impressed me from the first day he walked into UFC. Impressed me till today, whether he wins or loses. I've never seen anyone with more crazy as eyes than that fucking motherfucker walking into a ring. I've never seen anything like him since Mike Tyson. I'm going Chaos Williams all fucking day. I'm not even looking at the other guy. Who the fuck is that guy? Next.
There you go. Yeah, and shout out to Williams. I think was he fighting out of? I think he still fights out of Michigan actually. Anyways,
Yeah. Oh, really? They remember I told you I used to live in Schwamberg. Schwamberg. I lived there for like
yeah.
3
Look at this
months,
shit.
but that's another story.
He fights out of Lansing. I've never been at this gym, but it'd be cool to roll through one day with a couple cards or something, shake his hand, say what's up. But no, Williams is fun. I like his fights. Again,
Yeah,
I'm a fighter, or I'm a fan who enjoys finishes. I enjoy fighters that go after it. They understand the assignment. They're not there to eat 15 damage of unnecessary damage and allow their opponents to surprise them or judge the fuck them over. They put the fight and the matter into their own hands and they let them go and they put it all on the
brother.
line. That's Chaos
There's many
Williams.
black belts in life. There's black belts in karate. There's black belts in taekwondo. There's black belts in this. But you know what? There's also black belt in fucking crazy. All right, and only a few people have that black belt. You have to earn that, not through a fucking gym. You get that through life.
Yep.
And I believe Chaos Williams has a black belt in crazy, and I believe crazy beats non-crazy. I believe KO Williams gets his by TKO as well, done and dusted.
And again, put credit
That
where
was an
credit's
easy pick for
due.
me.
He's had a long career, and if you look at the last three losses, all from Killers 2. So that's
Yeah,
Bonfim, that's Randy Brown, and that's Michael Perea before he started doing cartwheels and dancing around like a fucking clown,
yeah.
burning energy before a fight. So, anyways,
No, I'm all good with Chaos on that one.
yep.
I'm pretty firm on that one. I have no like
Also
anything but
put on your paper for me, like and highlight it and just compare the prop. I want to compare the chaos knockout first second round versus distance no. Just
yeah,
respecting what could happen in the upset, of course, but not expecting it to.
yeah,
I reckon Williams, he's probably like a 400 favorite. He's only a negative 205. His knockout prop's got to be around 150, 200. So I could see distance here being, honestly, I could see it negative like 110, but that's a great parlay piece. I mean, you got to remember,
yeah,
guys, with the parlay, you're already taking other risk. The more specific you are and the more you narrow it down, even me saying round one or two knockout, it could be a third round knockout and you still lose, you see? So when you say a distance no, you're respecting how also the upset could happen based on his opponent's capabilities. Gustafson's this. He's either getting knocked out or he's doing some magical inside work with those knees and elbows and maybe gets a lucky shot. But I think 8 out of 10 times Williams should win this fight. So if I get this wrong, I'd be really surprised.
yep.
All
Same,
right,
same, same.
that's
Um,
it.
Next one. Who we're on to next, my brother?
Yeah,
Let's.
no,
It
and
gets
I,
more
by the way, I
exciting. That's
love your
what I love
take, so
about.
don't ever feel like you can't elaborate as much as you want to, brother. Like, for real, your
No, look,
insights,
there's
good
some that
shit.
are easy. There's some that you can just say stuff and you can just move on. Like there's nothing more to say about what I think that's going to happen.
Oh, no, no, no,
Um,
I'm
and
just saying as we move up the card, don't ever feel like pressured, like you're taking up too much time or whatever. All right, so moving up the card, we got Sergey Spivak taking on Waldo Cortez Acosta. Costa been improving a bit. Big guy. He showed a lot of diversity. Was able to take old boy and get him out of there. Everyone remembers Despain. He's now fighting in the karate combat, knocking dudes out every 8 seconds or so. But Costa was able to weather that storm. I like Sergey a lot this week because unlike Spivak and some of these other strikers, he's able to mix it. And we know that Costa, he's got the ability to put guys out, but really how you put Costa out of the fight is taking him off his feet. He doesn't have that much threat in grappling, and I think it's his lack of grappling defense that would disallow someone like Sergey, who's been fighting and submitting far higher level opposition in the heavyweight division. Um, I see Sergey getting it done this way. I see Sergey getting Costa down to the ground, polar bear, mauling at his shit, swiping left, right, body shot, head, whatever that looks like, and Costa possibly turning his back away to some elbows, some 12 to 6. Sergey, he's going after that finish. So I could see him opening up a submission here. Now, he's got about 50% of his loss by submission. But again, I know I've called distance no a bit in these last three fights, especially. I've said distance no between Kong Wang and the Queen of Violence, Chaos Williams fight, and now this fight too. I could see Costa also being live for a knockout. Sergey, that's how you knock him. That's how you beat this guy. You're not out grappling him. You're not winning control time. You're not winning takedowns. And Quite frankly, you probably are in submission attempts, even if you're surviving them. Costa's going to be down in rounds. And I see Costa, simply put, it could be live by a second or third round knockout. But Sergey's going to have his way with the, Costa until he doesn't. So you could be super safe on this fight and say distance no, and build a parlay off some of these distance no's because together they do cash. Um, my 8 leg cash for 7,300, and I had a 7 leg that was cashing for 84. This was both going into the same main event of Delice and Marvin, and I had it under and over 4.5. I had all my reads right and loved that fight going under and over on 2 different parlays. That's how it came to be. So I guaranteed
Yeah.
myself I was walking away with either 8400x, or not 8400x. It was 84x or 72x. And so people hate on it because you're building more than a 3 or 4 leg, but when you're doing distance, it's not as risky as doing method. So I just want to put that out there in advance. I like these last 3 fights going distance no. Don't parlay them together unless it's your long shot, but use 1 or 2 of these and boost another bet that you're confident in and watch it flourish. So I like distance no in this. I've explained my case and why I think Sergey likely hits it down to the ground and hits his submission or ground and pound unless Costa says no on the feet. What do you think about this, Lethal?
Mate, look, your perspective is awesome. Always full of knowledge and stats. I've just got Sergey by submission. That guy, I found he changed his fighting style probably in the last few fights. Um, from the Tai Vasa fight, you know what I mean? I sort of seen that. And his last submission was, I think, operative word being think. Everyone out there, that's what we're here about. I don't say, I think. I think Sergey is going to take advantage of Costa's fucking non-ground game. He's going to use the easiest path to victory, which is what he found in his last fight. He is the polar bear. And don't forget, he is fucking tough. He is a tough dude. He's not
He's
a weak
never been
heavyweight. Not
finished. He's never been
yeah. He like
finished.
I've seen him lose, but I actually haven't seen him lose. Does that make sense?
Yeah, he
Like,
had. I had him on the
oh,
knockout against Ryan Spann. I had him on the knockout against. I didn't like Ryan coming up to heavyweight. I thought he was either gonna do something at lightweight or not at all because, yeah. Anyways, I took Costa by the knockout, and that one
look, he
paid off quite well. But yeah,
Sergey has impressed me more with his wins. His losses actually haven't depressed me.
yeah.
His losses haven't been that bad. They haven't been like,
Gone.
oh,
Look at these
I'm
last
out.
3 here: Almeida, Gone, and Tom Aspinall. That's
Thank
basically your
you.
top 5 right there,
Yeah. So
including
like,
your undisputed champion.
and
Hashtag
then as soon as
strip John
yeah,
Jones.
I believe Costa is done. I saw Costa when he first walked in. I went, wow, look at that guy. They're stomping. Remember the stomping? When he walked in and fought, he was like just stomping. He was fucking, yeah. It's like, wow, look at this big monster. He sort of reminded me of a unfit Francis Ngannou. You know what I mean? He wasn't ripped like a goddamn action figure. But you know what? It was
I love
scary.
it.
But then I also saw Costa lose, right? I seen Costa gas, like literally fucking at the end of fights, gassing, and I think Sergey is going to sit back and grind him like a Marab, is going to grind him at the ground, and he will either get it by TKO or sub. I don't see this going to the distance. I've got Sergey by TKO or sub.
Yep. And to kind of further support this, Costa's live with a big shot, as most heavyweights are. That's the name of the game. Listen to Tom Aspinall. You're often training your entry and your exit. That's the biggest part of heavyweight because at that weight, it doesn't take technicality to get hit by a big shot that puts you out. It's just being in when you should have been out. So speed and athleticism have a big part. Sergey is certainly a lot more athletic than Costa. If they
Yeah.
wanted to do a fucking pull up contest, I'm pretty sure Sergey beats his ass there. Um, however,
I'm even talking like a grappling contest. Sergey Costa, wrestling, grappling. Sergey's only going to win this grand fight on the ground. We know that. But if he
I'm
does
just
that,
saying that
that's
Sergey is going to be more explosive. I mean, he's more athletic. Like I'm just trying to say from a physique standpoint, Sergey. Yeah, it's true. He may not have exactly as much power as Costa. That I could believe that, but I believe Sergey actually is going to be faster. And so I see this fight going to the ground for Sergey. And like you
yeah,
said, it's going to be a submission or knockout. Costa survives a lot of fights going 15 minutes. Sergey
yeah, look,
doesn't fight for 15 minutes.
yeah. And
See
I've
all
seen,
these
and it was
decision
so,
wins right here? That's not how Sergey fights.
mate,
Sergey is going out for the finish.
I'm pretty sure if I go back to some of those fights, the decision win fights, I'm pretty sure one of them he lost. I can't remember it now, but like, put it this way. We've been following this sport for a long time as amateurs, right? We're not professionals. No one said we were, so I'm going to sit back to everyone. We're fucking armchairs like all you guys out there. So we've all been following the sport, whether you started with Connor, or you started with Jose, or you started with Uriah or Dominic Cruz, any one of those greats. You could have started any era. But what we do know is when you see someone, right, you have that feeling. You sit back. When I saw Jolton and Maida, I went, bah, that guy got to destroy it, especially heavyweight. You know what I mean? Like, wow. Tom Aspinall. Uh, Waldo is not that dude. I think Sergey, if I was put parlays on to just see who have got a belt in the next 2 years, like a long shot, I'll put $5 on 1,000 to 1.
Yeah, I
You know
think
what I mean?
that
Like Sergey's not out of the fucking question. He's still a contender. We're just so used to his name. We're just
yeah.
so used to him being around.
Well, what I was going to say about Sergey is again, he's still one of the few heavyweights that's able to fully mix it, and that's why he's a threat. It's not always going to work out for him. Eventually, he's going to meet people who can weather the storm. And when it comes down to Sergey being on his feet because he can't get the takedown or he isn't able to set up that big trip or that disoriented fight that gets to the ground, that's when he meets his maker. But at this
Yeah.
level, I believe so. As long as you believe that Spivak can get the fight down to the ground, what the fuck's Costa gonna do off his back? Is he gonna just
I
finish him with
believe
fucking
in
Komora? He's
15
gonna do
minutes.
nothing. He's gonna get fucking choked out or knocked out. So, if you really want to play it safe, you raise a case. Spivak by finish. Costa only shot in this fight is that one shot, the knockout. Spivak has lost 80% of his fights via TKO or knockout. So
Yeah.
Costa's live in the first round. If you're really gonna ride the dog on this fight, so far he is a near even odd, by the way. But Sergey is slight favorite. So the props on this are close. Which way are you thinking on this? I wouldn't say this is quite a
Dude,
pick 'em to me, but I would totally understand if you told me Costa wins.
I,
However,
I am comparing
distance no.
Costa. I'm not even looking at Sergey at the moment. I'm looking at his opponent. Okay, I'm sort of everyone sometimes looks at the fighter himself, and I'm looking at his opponent, not the fighter. And I'm like going, no, Sergey is going to fucking destroy this guy. Costa, you are not impressive. Okay, stand up. Do you know what Costa reminds me of? Here we go, and God bless you, Australian boy, by the way, Tai Vasa. That's what he impresses. That's what he reminds me of. You're this big, explosive, fiery man, but dude, you can't wrestle. You can't down. You have no nothing. You want to come in. They want to come and fight in a pub. You can make a lot of money doing Dan Hooker shit. Dan Hooker just gave
Yeah,
50 grand away in the
yeah, I
fucking
know.
backyard.
Yeah, no,
You know, so
Costa's a brawler. Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah. No, I don't believe he's going to cop the skills of Sergey. I think Sergey is just going to do one thing and one thing only. Man, I'll mince my words on this. I truly believe this in my heart. Sergey is way too smart, IQ wise and fighting. He's been around way too long. Costa thinks he's fighting in a goddamn bar room. He's like going to stomp his feet like a fucking gorilla. It's not going to work against the polar bear. I've seen the polar bear improve his submissions. He's using his jiu-jitsu now, by the way. Don't forget that. He's starting to use that submission game. He's
Nice.
starting to incorporate everything. So um, all day, I cannot look at Aldo at all on this. I'm going to follow on the odd makers on this one, man. Sergey by win, Sergey by knockout, Sergey.
For sure. I'm gonna try something
I'll
out real
follow.
quick too as we move
Yeah.
into the main card here. I'm just gonna pull it up, see what it looks like here. Just want to see what this looks like on stream instead. Give us maybe a better graphic. Try something different.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is there's a reason why I didn't use it. You see, UFC's not putting the pictures in for everybody, which is really fucking sad.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah,
the
yeah,
satellite
yeah,
patchy
yeah,
mix
yeah.
doesn't have a bunch from Bellator. But anyways,
Oh, I can't wait till we get the patchy mix, man. I can't wait till we get the Vincent and it's like a movie.
we'll kind of roll off
I can't
this
wait.
if you end up wanting to like fact check or talk about finishes and things from a betting perspective. Let me know. I can always toss that up there. Um, Toss that back up, I should say, or just switch back and forth. So I'll switch kind of back and forth between these if that's cool. You can
No,
still
no,
see
you
you
do
can
what
see
you
okay
want
on your end.
because my job partner, my job on this end is actually do a bit of study before I get on here. So while my beautiful wife and my team gave me the day off, I came home and got up and researched, studied the shit, wrote it down. So I do have some sort of idea without talking shit with what's going on. I actually didn't look at the whole card till we organised this a couple of days ago, so I thought I better look at it. You know what I mean? And wow, that's what interested me. You know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
it's a strong card. It's a great card. I still believe. Sorry, I hate to say this. I'm going to get all I haters for this. Pena and Harrison should have been the main event. And Mally and Maram should have been the co. I know, dude.
If it
Everyone's
would have
gonna. I know,
been if it would have been Harrison versus
even
Amanda
you, fucking Tim.
Nunes,
I know even my partner in crime, maybe even sent me go. Can't believe you're saying that live, bro. I said I have to say it. Uh,
yeah,
but we'll get to that. We'll get to that fight when we get to it because
yep,
there's a lot of discussion about that fight.
yep. Moving up the card, yeah, no, it's gonna be a good
Yep.
one to break down, man. I'm pumped for it. Moving up the card, we got Ozma, uh, Murzakanov taking on Brenson Ribeiro. I don't like Ribeiro in the sense of like this guy. He's like too inconsistent. He's good one moment, the other he's just not looking so hot. Personally, I mean he's got the finishing capabilities. So again, I think we're gonna see a lot of finishes on this card. Like UFC, they're actually smart. Even in the prelim process, they don't put specific fighters as often on the prelims. They're stacking up fights where you could see a lot of finishes. The best fight nights recapping 2024 were all full of like fantastic finishes from the start of the card to the top of the card. The fans were going crazy and there was just such a buzz, right? So when I look at this card, I'm actually admitting we could see a lot more finishes than we've seen this year on a pay-per-view or on a card. Like this could be the biggest finishing card because for one, you have a lot of these light heavyweight bout. I mean, it does open up pretty small, some lightweight bouts, but those are live for finishes too, of course. And yeah,
Yeah.
so anyways, minus a few of these prelim fights, like you really start working into the
No,
primary
it's
prelims going into the main card.
very
They are live.
exciting. It's very exciting. Fucking, I agree. Like that's why I sort of missed those first three. Ones that you did all the research on and I didn't. Thank you, MMA, for covering my ass
Oh,
again.
you're
But
good.
that's
Like
why.
I said, this
But,
this research right here, like it took like 2 seconds. I'm like, who's this guy? And then it doesn't show you here, but I was like, yeah, who's my buddy here? Like, But you gotta
Well,
go watch
I
some
guess,
tape on him.
hey,
And then I
look,
saw Jubilee
if I'm
beat his
gonna be
ass right
if I'm
here.
gonna be the bad guy of Australia, the bad guy's got to say, I didn't have 2 seconds for those. Who the fuck are those guys? I didn't have 2 seconds for those guys, brother. I
It's
just,
right
you
there.
know what I mean.
That's your
Thank you for
answer, though.
covering my
I mean,
ass.
that took like
Yeah,
10 seconds. That's how you
yeah, no,
sound.
I don't
Get a
have two. If
performance
I don't know
bonus.
you, and you are, who are you? You're like, you know what? We'll get to him, but I'll quickly say this: the only one I did research was Patchy Mix, so we'll get to him later.
Yeah, no,
But
we're
anyway,
almost there, brother. Moving up the card right now. We're on Azamat. I like his ability to mix it. I like his ability to also like not put himself out in dumbass positions. Like, dude's gonna have great takedown defense. He's live for the knockout on the feet. Um, yeah, I mean, look at his
I
resume. Look at
bought
Jacoby.
in the note.
Look at Jacoby right now. Jacoby's live for first round knockouts. He's getting a few third rounds as of recent. Osmont weathered the
Yeah,
storm with Jacoby. You can't tell me that Ribeiro is all of a sudden just this masterclass striker at range. He's going to be pressured into his grappling, and that's where Osmont handles himself quite well naturally from the land that he is, the motherland of this grappling. Yeah, my
100%.
man is live for the knockout in this fight. I like that prop a lot. He is a heavy favorite. So okay, what's distance no look like? I always go back to that because again, when you look at these heavy favorites, how considerably more is that knockout going to pay versus you saying distance no and covering your ass here? Because again, Brenton is live for a finish of his own. He can get the submission. He can get the knockout. Is he going to here? No. Look at he gets finished in the process, and thus that is the heavyweight division for you. I just I don't like his fight IQ. I just get really fucking nervous anytime this guy's fighting. And I for whatever reason have him as a pick or have some kind of stake. So with him I've learned distance no. I can play it pretty safe. But with his dance partner this week, I agree. I think I hit the knockout here. So what's your take, Lethal?
Mate, look, I'm anti Ribeiro. I'm with you. I'm out on that one. And actually, to be quite honest, brother, this fight didn't excite me. It put me to sleep. I only did it because I had to, because we have to.
Yep.
If this fight wasn't on the card, I wouldn't care. I
Yep.
wouldn't care if this fight was in Bellator or the PFL or down the backyard, mate. Like, it does not interest me at all. They don't interest me, but I'm picking. I'm not going with Ribeiro.
Yep.
I'm out.
And I just
Yeah.
want to give us one of these real quick, Lethal, because with that conclusion, we are now on to the more exciting fights of the card for me. So
Mm.
moving up the card, Joshua Van taking on Bruno Silva. Here's my take on this. Joshua Van, he's going to come forward. He's going to let him go. He's going to get cracked, and he's going to crack back. That's Joshua Van. And so as long as he can hold on to that flyweight chin, God forbid they ever make an atom weight class, but if he, as long as he can hold on to that little chin, my man is live in every fucking fight that he's in, win or lose, because he is a dog. I like Van by the win here via knockout. Silva, give him some flowers too. He's a killer, be killed kind of guy. His best path to victory isn't to obviously stand with Van, but to try to take him down. I don't think he gets it done. Van is fucking scrappy. And he just came from a long camp where he was dealing with the wrestling. He was dealing with that pressure of old boy, that Chinese wrestling prospect dude. And he
Yeah,
dealt
yeah,
with
yeah,
his
yeah,
shit right
yeah.
here. Ray, if you
Who
call
was
that a
it?
dude. My man Joshua Van just dealt with
No,
his
who was
shit
the Chinese
flawlessly.
wrestling dude? Who was the Chinese wrestling dude? I remember that fight. He did really good.
Yeah. But that guy, that's all
Yeah,
he was known for is coming in, right? He was
yeah.
all known for just coming in
Oh,
and taking
the
guys
fucking
down.
Japanese dude. Wasn't he the Japanese dude that was 11-0? Or he was one of them were
Yeah, he was
undefeated. I
undefeated.
know the yes, yes. I remember. Yeah,
Yeah, he was
that yeah,
Japanese.
yeah,
Oops.
done. And guess what? Yeah, Ria Tsuru. Hey, by the way, his cards were starting to be worth money, by the way, as a collector. You know how we do both?
Yep.
They were. There was jack shit of fuck all now, man. I'd give them away as a base card. So There you go.
Wait,
10-0 Joshua Van. Joshua Van took that guy's stock, right?
he has cards?
And he just shit it down the hole because I remember that fight. I watched it here with my stepson. I introduced him to because he's learning boxing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I told him I wanted to see some of the slickest boxing in the UFC, and I believe Joshua Van has, apart from JDM, has some of the
Dustin
slickest.
and Max and
I
Volkanovski.
believe that, no, I'm going to go, you know what? I believe JDM rips Dustin apart with boxing. Max, you got that last punch in the last 10 seconds against a brawler. Dude, I love you guys. I'm talking skill, and we're talking Josh Van. I believe Josh Van's boxing outskills Max Holloway's, and I know the different weight class, but I'm a Josh Van fan. We're talking about the fighter now. We're not talking about Max or what we think about these guys. We're talking about Josh Van. I believe his boxing is second to none. Those body shots, those rips to the body,
He
the
digs.
speed,
He
it's
absolutely fucking
perfection.
digs.
It's literally perfection, right? That guy is a long dark horse. Here's the guy, like his takedown defense, 90%. We
But
saw that against the Japanese fucking jiu-jitsu master. Rah, 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 rah. Mate, I'm so excited about Joshua Van. I'm a massive fan, uh, especially as he didn't start wrestling till later. You know what I mean? Like, because he was so good at stand-up, he didn't have to. And he was
mm-hmm.
just getting away with it. You know what I mean? So I would compare his boxing. I really am going to say this, and I'll say this now. Joshua Van has his boxing is in the range of Ilya Topuria, Dustin, Max, and himself, and JDM. I believe his boxing is that slick. He is going to win this fight. He will win it by TKO. He charges on the second round. He works him out on the first. He charges the second and the third one. He just carves the fucking cunts apart. Body shot, head shot, body shot, shot, leg shot. And then he even had a submission once. So it's just fucking amazing. I'm very excited behind it. Silver, $5 according to Shell. He's going out in the stretcher, brother.
Yeah. Yep. I here's
Right?
the thing.
Stretcher, mate.
Here's the thing with Van. He was hard on himself despite defeating that prospect last time out. He was shaking his head. He's upset. He kind of looked over at the camera at one point. He was upset because he really wanted the finish. He was down on himself because he obviously knew he was winning the fight. He was down on himself because he wanted more. He wanted more for himself, more for his future in the UFC. It's these fighters that actually go for it, that have that kind of kill or be killed mentality that can either be a make or break. And Josh definitely knows he has the people behind him because of the way he fights, the way he brawls, right? And so I'm not going to disagree. I know that was like, for a lot of people listening in, it's probably like biggest Joshua Van take you've probably ever heard in your life. And I was part of it with you. But here's the thing, Joshua Van, offensively wise, I don't really critique him all that much. He's got good mixes. Like Lethal said, he's going to the body, he's ripping head, he digs. My only issue with Joshua Van, and this is the reason why he has taken a few losses now, is defensive sound. He's not as defensively sound. He is a shot absorb just to go out and send hits. He's literally the UFC Rod Tang. That is Joshua fucking Van. He will go out and eat a shot to give a shot and stand and brawl and have the better of it and force his opponents into grappling. And Josh isn't physically big at flyweight. He's actually quite small, which is why I said if this man ever had an atom weight class to achieve,
brother.
he could be a fucking monster. But at this weight class, if you can grapple, if you can get a hold of Josh, you have a shot in the fight. Now, I'm going Van, and I'm convinced he hits this knockout in this fight. However, as he moves up the ranks, I've heard someone try to say Joshua Van is a future flyweight champion. He may very well be. But don't get me wrong, if you're making me pick between Tatsuro Taira and Josh Van, my boy Tatsuro's fucking him up 4 out of 5 times. Easy.
Can I say this? There's a guy that reminded me of Josh Van back in the day. I don't know whether you guys remember. His name was Dobson, little small ball dude from the tough house. What was his name? Dobson. Fast hands, got right up to the top. I believe Joshua Van has this too, but I believe this is my going to silver, right? You got to get through. It takes a little bit of Josh to warm up, man. Like, it takes me a little bit of warm up. When I get home, I can't just jump on a podcast with you. I got to go and have a shower. I've just got to go and fucking chill out, do my shit. Bruno Silva doesn't chill out and do shit. That's the problem. So at $5 for the betting picks, my parlays have got Joshua Van. So if Joshua Van loses, if Spivak loses in my end of the world, I'm having a bad day at work because I've actually put a lot of money on Spivak in my parlays, in my proper parlays, like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Joshua Van too. But so far, I do have Silva as a stupid long shot. I really do have him as a stupid long shot because I don't know whether he can. Joshua Van has the time to warm up and get his shit together as afternoon cup of coffee before he gets to round 3, before he starts carving him up. Okay? And that's what he does. He does it in round 2.5 to 3. I don't know whether Silva's going to give him that time. If Silva gives him that time, Joshua Van's carving out from fucking round 1 to round 2. That guy's going to carve you up from the inside, outside. And he's even started using that bit of the wrestling. So, but as a long shot, as a stupid long shot at $5, because I've only got 3 stupid long shots right here today. So $5, I don't mind putting a couple bucks on Silva and a stupid long shot parlay because you can't miss out the guy. I think he's 4 out of 5 in his last 5 fights.
What I was going to kind
Silva.
of reflect on too is we saw with Johnson the ability to mix it with Josh. I mean, yeah, you don't want to be in the pocket with him forever. He's going to dig to the body, and it's going to be a tough night to
Yep.
stay in the fight. But someone like Johnson showed that with the pressure, the clinch work, and threatening the takedown while still mixing in strikes, so you're not losing on points,
Yep.
by the way. Not just hugging waist and losing a scorecard, but peppering in the shots and staying active. You can, in fact, take a fight against Joshua Van. Now, to our
Johnson has
surprise,
started
Energy is one
winning.
of the, Energy, when you watch this guy, yeah, his finishes are across the board, but we can say at this stage in his career, he's going out and he's getting decisions more times than not. It was a really
Yep.
big upset to see for a lot of people who were high on Joshua Van. It was a very big upset for you guys to see Charles Johnson be able to finish Josh. Like, Josh is
Mate,
tough. Josh eats
I
shot after
am a Charles
shot,
Johnson
and it was
fan.
an uppercut.
I'm a true I'm a true Charles Johnson fan. I have followed him. I don't have a PC of him of one card. I do not. But I tell you what, deep down, when that guy fights, I love his fighting. I think he's got some of the fastest hands I've ever seen.
His cardio is one of the better ones,
That
too. I
guy,
mean,
the
it's
guy's
insane.
twitch fibers, though, like just his twitch fibers at that age, or not even that age. Like, I'm 52, so fucking, you guys are all young. You're 35, Toad. You're still a young blood to me, brother. You're like still like fucking young as old fuck, you know. So When people talk about old, no one's old till you get to fucking, yeah, that's right. You put that fucking stick up because you're still young. So Johnson's not old. The guy's like 33. And you're like, oh, he's old. Fuck, dude, that should do
34, but
just
yeah.
be walking his prime right now. And he's starting to carve people up. He's starting to mix in that wrestling that he has. He was winning. Anyway, this is where we go off track. And you give me the
Yes.
signal. What's the signal, Toad? We're moving on.
We're moving up the card. That's right. Let me go
Let's
back
go.
here.
Let's
No,
move.
I mean, Joshua Fan is a fun breakdown this week. I don't mind it. Silva, in his own regards, live for a finish. I don't see this one going to the judges. I know I've said it 4 other cards so far, but here you fucking go. And it's the flyweight. So I do say that to tread caution. Weight classes do matter a bit when you're talking about fights going under or over distance. But I think this is a killer be killed kind of mentality. Silva's going to come out and implement his game plan to get Van off his feet. Van is very live if he gets to a second, third round to hit this fucking late round knockout as Silva literally starts to gas in the process of
Uh,
maybe trying to contain Silva or, Van throughout the fight. So
Van,
the
Van's going
finish
to
is
win
live
it
on
by
both ends.
decision.
Just that's my take.
Yeah, Van's got it. Van's got it. I'm locking in Van. I don't have to talk about it.
Yep.
Silver, you're a great long shot. Like I said, it is one of my long shots, but all my parlays so far are so far Spivak and Van.
There you
So
go.
I'm going Van all day, rip it to the body, carving him up like a goddamn fucking pumpkin and doing that shit. So Van, you use your feet, you use your shit. That guy won't even touch you. You can't put me down. You can't wrestle and ground and pound me if you can't catch me. Van's too fast. He's too quick. He's too cool. Van all day. Let's go. Who's next, my man?
All right, yep. Moving up the card, we got Kevin Holland taking on Vincent Luque. This is going to be another banger fight on the card. Let me switch up the graphics so we can see both guys here real quick. Kevin
Just,
Holland,
oh,
anytime Big Mouth is preparing at 175 at 170 pounds specifically, full camp, it means he's a little bit more dialed in, he's a little bit more focused, and he's dieting. And so, yeah, he's probably wanting to really fucking win this fight and make it feel like it was for something. I feel like Kevin, he's a little bit more of one of these guys who will step up 185 pounds, but he loses so much like physicality, I feel, because he's not this bulky guy. He's long and rangy, and he loses that power when he goes up 15 pounds. I feel he's extremely explosive on the feet. He surprises his opponents with long, snappy range combinations. He's live with his kicks, and we all know Holland's always live for a submission, even when he's getting his ass beat. So, what I question for Vincent here is you got great killer instincts yourself, but at this age, at this level of inactivity, are you really ready to step in with a 45-70 like Kevin Holland? That's my question. So, what's your take on this, Lethal?
oh God, I'm so excited about this. Fucking Batman, Kevin Holland runs around. I can't even fucking. I'm just looking at my page. I'm looking down. When I saw this fight, brother, I didn't know how to feel. I am the biggest Kevin Holland fan in the world, man. I love that dude. And I don't have a PC for him. I only have one Kevin Holland card. Um, I don't know why I didn't create one. I don't know why. We can talk about why, right? If he's your favorite dude, how come you haven't got 1,000? I don't know. I don't know. But what I do know is when I see him on a card, I pick emotionally. Okay,
A lot of us do.
okay. So I
Yeah.
pick emotionally.
Yeah.
Now you're
By a
talking about
finish.
Vincent being. You're talking about Vincent being sort of a bit of old and a bit of this. Kevin Holland's not that fucking young either. You know what I mean? I think
Oh,
we
yeah,
got
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of two of the guys that are the same era in their age. I
What
don't
I
even
meant
know what
more
the
so is the
age difference.
activity, because Kevin Holland, you got a guy
Yeah,
who's very
yeah,
inactive, and you got one of the most active in UFC
yeah.
history.
but then I've got a guy that was winning, was going out. Man, Holland has always told us, and this is out loud, and he can fucking, if he ever sees this, it's always about the coin, it's always about the weed, it's always about the women. And I love that shit, man. No one's going to fucking, but that's what it's about. Okay? I don't know. Like, if your life's built around coin, women, and weed, when there's the aspirations for actually winning. And if you look at his fucking losses, he's lost a few.
His
Okay?
last two though age okay to me. The Ritter, we know is a problem. Okay, like he, whether you had the respect for it or not coming into the UFC, that's on you. He's proven himself pretty okay compared to a lot of people coming into the UFC, being two division
And not
champion.
even brother,
He,
not even DeRidder. And like I said, I am a massive Kevin Holland fan. I follow him. I even text him, like, when we do those comments on Instagram, hey, cool shit, love it. Love the weed smoking because I'm a weed smoker myself. You know, have no issues. But I don't think, I think, I think I'm putting, okay, Vincent Luque is the non-favorite on this one, around $3.50 over here. Okay, like, wow. Vincent Luque, I believe, is a better fighter. Okay, let's talk fighting. Let's not talk social
yeah,
media.
I agree. I agree. Vince, he's more
Okay, I
technical.
think Vincent Luque has got a better round skill set. His jiu-jitsu is, Kevin Holland can call the Gracie jiu-jitsu and do whatever he's done. He hasn't really got that many submissions. You know what I mean? Like, you
Well,
went
they're from
against
fucking dropping
Adriana.
people
Like,
too. Kevin
what
is
happened to
dangerous on
you,
the
Gracie?
ground. He
Look,
he
what
opens
happened
up
to
his
you,
submissions
Gracie's
with ground and pound.
jiu-jitsu against RDR? Nothing happened with your
Unless
Gracie
he's got an
jiu-jitsu.
armbar.
He made you look. What happened to Hamzat? So you can throw the big Gracie name everywhere. You can throw your black belt, but he's not using it. Okay, he's losing. He stands up on his feet. He makes $1 million talking. He has the big mouth. Dana White called that from the beginning, not me, and he still is. And he doesn't win. Okay, he wants to fight. I'm all good. Vincent Luque, I believe, is a different kettle of fish. That guy is built from the old breed. He fucking gone there. I know he's lost a few, but I think he's just got a different heart. And I think I've got Luque by submission. Kevin Holland might think he can fight on the ground, but he's lost every fight on the fucking ground with your Gracie black belt jiu-jitsu, rah, 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 rah. You've lost it all on the ground.
Well,
You've lost
Delice
it on your
fucking
feet. You lost
popped
it on
his
your
rib.
feet, mate. Dana White gave you an out. Dana White gave Kevin Holland an out. He lost against so many wrestlers. He gave him Wonder Boy, the best karate striker in the world. He gave him out one day, one moment. He even lost against the best karate striker in Wonder Boy. So
To be
I
fair,
can't.
they had a code not to grapple, and it was going to be a striking affair. And Kevin broke his own fucking hand, knocking the piss out of Wonder Boy in the first round. So I love that Wonder Boy came back. I love that he won that fight. I love that fight as a fan. But to act like Kevin had like a legit just mixed martial arts bout with Wonder Boy versus a karate fucking combat
Now,
contest, there's a difference there.
with,
I'm sorry. Kevin would have
with
put
all
fucking
my
Wonder Boy on the ground and
negativity
choked his
against
shit out.
Kevin Holland,
It wouldn't have been
with
shot fun.
all my negativity against Kevin Holland right then, I will say this. I have Kevin Holland to win by TKO submission because after his last fight, I saw something in that fucking post fight. I saw that he was sick and tired of losing. I saw that he's got the money. I remember when he was broke. Now you got the money. I remember in COVID, he was starting his COVID dry bin business cleaning, his first business. He got his paychecks. I remember watching that years ago, right? He got it. He got it all. And I think he's just sick of losing. I think he is. And I think he knows he's better than that. We all do. We all know it.
Well,
So this
he's
is
been
what
on a
I would
lot
say.
more of that limelight and pressure since being on the Jackson podcast with Rampage and have the whole thing spark off. Like, who the fuck are you, Kevin Holland? Do you know who you're
So
speaking with?
I got Kevin
That
Holland coming
conversation
out here.
got into Kevin. I'm just going to spill this take super quick. Kevin Holland had more people firing shots at him in that exchange that he had ever received in his entire fight career from
Yep.
talking shit to actual fighters and losing. Just by being on a podcast, asking Rampage if he knew what a 45 cent he was and kind of was egotistical. Shit moved on. They handled their shit. Good for them. But Kevin at that point knew damn well I better be winning my fucking fights right now because he thought the shit talking was bad then. It's going to be terrible if, he
And you
comes
know
back
what?
and also keeps losing.
I'm
Like, oh
glad.
man, you talked all that shit and now you're riding off. Like, come on, man. So this is what it's about. Kevin's here. He's getting
I'm
his
glad our
W's.
boy.
Yep.
I'm glad our boy Kevin Holland, and I'm going to say our boy because I know he's yours. I'm glad our boy decided to get his shit together and win some fights
Yep.
because you fucking are that good. You have got a Grace fucking jiu-jitsu fucking Grace fucking belt. You could have beat RDR. You could have beat Hamzat. You could have used your shit. Stop talking to Dana White. Start winning fights. And if you love the money, more money will come. Dana's only giving you just what you deserve because you're just a cool fucking character. Don't be a character, be a winner, and use all those beautiful skills you have. And you show it this weekend, which I believe you are. I believe he's going to finish it this weekend. Kevin Holland by finish,
I like
right?
Holland by finish, but here's the thing: if I see Kevin drop Luque, I don't want him standing on top of Luque, allowing Vincent to grapple around his fucking ankles and grapple at all. I want Kevin to stay at range and feed shots and just be smart because he could easily, just as Kevin has won a lot of his fights by getting his opponents out of position and setting up a nasty submission and armbar, like something to come back from the dead after getting dropped on his ass. Luque is very live for this too, as we
Yeah.
both know.
Dude,
So we just,
Luke
I
is,
want Kevin. I got Kevin, but that is my fear: is
again,
how does he
on
follow
my
through with his
stupid
shots?
notepad here, I have three fucking fights that are going to be fucking the ones that I believe no one was. Luke Holland, Spivak, Paul Waldo, I believe that was one, and the other one was Silver and Vaughn at the moment. I have got Julia Pena, and obviously it's more, but out the big main cars, Kevin Holland and Luke is really interesting. Luke has matched up to fight Nate Diaz, Nick Diaz. I mean, Nick went on a journey. He had to come back from his journey. I hope you come back, brother. I hope you're all good, Nick. You come back from your fucking journey. We all go on one. Whether it takes you in the car park and some wanker videotapes you or your missus does. Why they put on video, I don't know why. They should have just left that journey private. But either or, wish you all the well. But Luco was meant to fight them. You know what? I wasn't even excited about that fight.
Yeah,
I really wasn't. Like,
I
oh
wasn't
wow,
excited, not because I wasn't excited to see Luque. I didn't have a lot of stock in Nick after the
absolutely.
loss
Luke would
to
have
Robbie.
absolutely destroyed him, man. Luke would have destroyed Nick, and kudos to Nick. But that's why it wasn't exciting. We
Yeah,
all knew what was the outtake. Luke might be the long shot in this fight, but in
yeah,
that fight
I had him
against
by a
Diaz,
landslide.
the greatest fucking dude. Luke was taking him, according to Charles Sonnen, $5 odds to the fucking hospital, dude. So I'm glad that didn't happen. You know what I mean? And Luke would have done what he had to do, and he didn't want to. He wouldn't have done it because he's a nice cunt. He would have fucking had to do his job, and he would have had to fuck up a dude that doesn't belong in the ring anymore. Same as Nate, both brothers, done. Don't come back. Finished.
Yeah, I
Finito.
agree. I agree. All right,
You
so
know, don't get killed.
both taking fight to end by finish. I got Kevin
Yep,
Holland. You got Kevin Holland. All right.
Kevin Holland.
All right, cool. We respect the ability for Luque to get the finish, or
I do, but I respect Kevin Holland. I respect Luca. I'm going 60-40, but I'm going Kevin Holland because I think he's sick of being, and I'm going more emotional.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think Kevin Holland,
I just meant
personally,
from a parlay standpoint of distance, no,
yeah,
to make it extra
so,
safe.
mate, like you do the distance and parlay. I think Kevin Holland's going to win
Yeah.
because I think he's going to stick. He's sick of being fucking losing. He knows he's got the skills. He's going to walk in there, and Luke A is not. Again, they didn't give it. They gave Kevin Holland another not bad fight, not an easy fight. No fight in the UFC is easy, but hey, Kevin Holland. Basically, if you can't beat Luke A, who's on his way out, like they got to pick one. They can't keep everyone on the roster, dude. Someone's got to go.
Yeah. Well, they're
UFC
doing
wants to
this
keep
to
Kevin
also
Holland.
allow Kevin back into the rankings of welterweight.
Yes,
Yeah.
they need Kevin to win this fight. Not that they hate Luke. This is his out. I believe he's going to walk in, take the advantage of that situation. He knows what's under the fucking ring. He knows he's not the Kevin Holland during COVID of 4 or 5 times and won 5 times. He knows that, right?
Yeah.
Money, time, years. But Kevin Holland will win this fight because he has to.
Absolutely. All
Done
right.
and dusted. That's my
Yep.
take on Kev.
I agree. Let's do it. Between the two things, I see Kevin getting it done with a TKO. All right.
Done.
Moving up the card, Mario Bautista taking on Patchy Mix. It's actually a pretty interesting
Oh,
fight. A lot of us really wanted Mario to lose, since it's just his fighting
sorry, brother.
style.
Mario,
But
Mario did lose. Mario did lose that fight. I'm sorry. I'm going to intervene right now. I'm going to have to interrupt you. I know we've been professional, but Mario did lose that fight.
no,
Jose
what
Aldo
I've been trying to
fight.
say though is that a lot of us have been wanting the guy to lose. Like I had Ricky Simone versus
None.
Mario. I had Jose Aldo against. You see, like I've never really picked the guy, and based on his last fight, I mean, it shows you why. He's trying to hug. He's not putting out any damage. He's not putting out any strike volume. He's not necessarily getting takedowns. He's just accumulating standing control time, and that's like the soyest shit in MMA. Period. So, yeah, no, the guy doesn't win a lot of respect or fans, especially who he's holding up in their fight careers. Someone like Jose Aldo, fighting like that, like you had an honor and a privilege to fight one of the greatest of all time legends of the sport,
Fight him.
and you're fucking
Fight him.
hugging,
Imagine not fighting a dude. Imagine being put in the cage and then, like,
hugging,
God, you have
hugging.
one moment. You're right. You have, I'm so, no, thank you. You have one moment to do something so beautiful. And you did nothing with him. You just hugged this beautiful man, and you never fought this guy. You can never walk out of that cage, Batista, and say you beat Jose Aldo ever in 1,000 years.
So yeah, I'm just gonna say that Patchy is a great matchup for Mario in the sense where he's really good in the clinch. He's very good in the clinch. He's good at working for your back, knees to the body. He's got, a good mix of striking. Like literally his nickname says it all, mix. He's able to mix it up. He's putting out his opponents more times than not, getting the job done with his hands. Um, but yeah, Mario's going to want to grapple up and play it safe. There's no playing it safe with Patchy Mix, I think. He's got a lot to prove in the bantamweight
Yeah.
division. Um, there is quite a ceiling, though. As we both know, there's some people that wait ahead of him that could give Patchy some problems. But I think this is a good entry point for him. It should be a nice introductory to build up, kind of like they've done with MVP, in my opinion. There's a few of these guys coming in that have a lot to prove from these other organizations. MVP, DeRitter, Patchy Mix. These are guys that, yeah, they're probably going to come out and win their first couple of matches. At the same time, Dana, Hunter, all these guys, they don't want to see these other champions, these organization champions coming in and just having their way with some of these top UFC guys. So they're not really risking it like they used to do with Ben Askren. They're in that trade. They're not just bringing these guys in and just taking them right up to the top in a lot of cases. I mean, Chandler was like the last best example of this, and Harrison, of course, but they've proven themselves, also I don't know. Uh, it's tough to say. Harrison more than Chandler, I
Right.
think, deserved it. But anyways, they're not
Look,
getting all these special treatments. They're
look
getting
what
them a
happened to
couple warm up
Pitbull.
fights.
Look what happened to the big Pitbull. Pitbull,
Yeah,
Bellator, Pitbull, Pit. They put him up against Yair.
yeah, I know, and that's
Carpet,
just it.
you know,
Pitbull could have went to the UFC 10 years ago. You know what I mean? That would have been a different career for the man. But
so one thing I think with this patchy thing, I had to catch up on him, right? Because he's not UFC. If you're not UFC, I don't watch. I don't care. Does that make sense? I haven't got enough time in my life to watch every single dick on every single scene. So I
no,
need to
I'm with
watch
you.
them.
I
When you
haven't
get
watched
in,
all
I'll
of his
watch it.
fights. I've only gone back
Yeah.
recently to watch more recent fights
So,
of his I've missed. But yeah,
and I'm going to tell you something. I saw the record. I saw the submissions. I watched everything.
he lost
I'm
this
only.
one, by the way.
This is going to be funny to you, right? This is going to throw you off. I'm putting all my coin on Patchy Mix for two reasons. Batista lost that fight against Aldo because you were too scared to stand. You fucking cunt. Sorry. You can fucking untune that. You fucking stand with a legend. You fucking, if you're given that fucking moment, you don't take that away from him. You took that away from him. You fucking piece of shit. All right. Secondly, uh, Patrick's married, or is the boyfriend to fucking Tatiana Suarez.
Yeah, I saw that.
No, so with that being said, do you know what a power couple is? You know what I mean? When
Oh
you
yeah.
get that woman that's strong behind you. Tatiana Suarez is a fucking psycho mental. Yes, she lost the irony fight against fucking Shevchenko. Okay. Everyone loses against Shevchenko. Shevchenko is the bullet. She's the master. She is the fucking legend. But I'm sort of seeing this patchy mix not coming in as a pit bull. I think he's going to submit fucking old mate. I think he's got the background in his personal life. This is where I'm going most personally. Everyone sort of looks at stats and they look at this and they look at that. But when you're fucking married or engaged to a fucking number one contender in the same company, you know what I mean? It's sort of like you live, train. I think you feed off each other. So I think he's going to feed off her strength. I think he's going to want to come in. UFC did give him an easy dude. You know why I believe they gave him Batista?
Hmm.
Because they were pissed off about that fight. UFC, Dana White looked at that fight and he wanted to see his boy, Jose, that's his boy, at least.
It was Wei Lee. Sorry, it was Wei Lee that beat Suarez. It wasn't Shevchenko. She came from the
There you
Grasso.
go.
Yep,
So
yep.
Whaley, that's right. So Whaley, I thought it was either one of the two, right?
Oh
But
no, you're good.
and again, they're looking at a super fight between Whaley and Shevchenko. I mean, those two chicks are like
Oh, that's gonna
untouchable. So
happen now. That's why I was so happy when she beat Manon. I was just like, "There's the super fight that we've been wanting. You can't deny it now.
mm,
Wei Lee deserves this. Shevchenko
mm,
deserves this. Give them this legacy fight."
all day.
Yeah.
So I want Chappie Mix to win. Personally, this is not even about punch. You might be able to go through your stats, Toad, because that's what you're
I
great
no no
at.
no
But
no
I've
no no
got that.
no. I'm not a
No, no,
robot.
no.
Fuck.
I'm not having a
Fuck.
go.
No,
That's
no.
what
I'm
you're
not a
good at.
robot. Fuck Mario. I don't want Mario winning. I think the whole world's united in this. We're here to watch this man get fucking ribbed and kneed to the fucking body and put away. If you're a
Yeah,
real fan of
done.
MMA, it's gonna be hard not to feel that way based on how
Yeah.
this dude shows
So
up in fights
fuck you,
with
Batista.
someone like Aldo.
You
I'm
took
sorry.
Aldo. You took Aldo's last chance, and all you did, that guy was coming back for his fucking comeback, and you sat him on the cage and held him and fucking held him because you didn't want to face it. So fuck you, Mario. Whether you're good or not, I still believe you're. I don't want you to win, and you're not going to win, and you're not on any of my parlays, Mario. If Mario wins, I've had a bad night at the office.
I'm
Done.
using
That's I'm
some.
going full.
I'm
Pen
using some
down.
Poeton Black Magic right now in Mario.
Yeah, and
I'm summoning these fucking shamans.
I'm going full Donald Trump here. Pen down. I've signed that shit. I've signed that shit. You're losing. You're
Hey,
fucking done, cunt. You're out.
all
So
right,
there's not even discussion.
all right.
Next, Mario.
Patchy
Fucking.
by TK or submission. I'm going just by Patchy by finish. All right, moving up the card. Rematch scheduled since Joe Pfeiffer went to Mexico, drank the water, ate the tacos, and cried like a little baby bitch with his upset belly. He's taking on Kelvin Gastelum in the rematch. Here's the funniest fucking to me in the world. Pfeiffer is such a heavy favorite here against Gastelum, but then lost to the fucking Joker. Like lost to the fucking Joker. That I personally don't think there's a lot of money to be made on Pfeiffer. It's likely he hits the knockout. Gaslam's tough. Gaslam's got an iron fucking chin. But again, Pfeiffer lost to the Joker. So I might circle Pfeiffer as a pick because statistically it makes sense. Like he's huge. He's got great power. He's got that, great camaraderie with Brady. So it's not like he's not working on his grappling and getting some improvements there because ideally he needs to be on his feet letting his hands go. But I don't give a fuck. You have so much to prove to me and do better than coming out acting like the body bags fucking, boogeyman of the division and having the Joker run circles on you. So I think Gaslam as a huge underdog, one of the biggest underdogs of the whole card, is fucking live for a sprinkle here.
I'm
And
going to do this. That means you got the fucking golden ticket, brother.
yeah.
That's the golden ticket. All the shit's falling down. Because fuck Pfeiffer, mate.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of two things. I'm not a fan of what he should have been able to do against the level of opposition that he was against based on the strongest punch in the world and this whole character arc build up they did for him. That fucked him over, by the way. Like, had he not had this whole I'm the hardest punch in the UFC and the UFC, putting a lot of this like look at the spotlight on O'Malley and how that changed him. I think Pfeiffer got kind of changed into thinking he was a bit ahead of the league when in reality, no, I wasn't impressed. So the Marc Andre knockout, that was a given. Again, the I just think that Hermanson really showed that it was a fraud check. I'm sorry. Hermanson was Pfeiffer's fraud check, and he's got to hit this win. He's got to hit a few after it because who has Calvin fought anytime recent, and is he winning? Is he winning? D-Rod
No, but
ages
look,
okay recently, but D-Rod kind of did also a big one of these slopes where he came onto the scene great, started
but you
taking a
can't count
shit.
D-Rod.
He almost
Go
got
back
cut.
before D-Rod. Go back before D-Rod. You can't count the win over D-Rod.
Okay, so yeah, he loses to Sean Brady. So that's fair. That ages quite well as well.
Yeah, yeah.
He gets a win over Chris Curtis, which that's like one of your middle of the pack middleweights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, that's not like super impressive to me. That's you're good enough. But then loses to Cannonier, loses to Whitaker. And this is the scene where my man was kind of at the top of the division at the time. The Hermanson one's funny in there as well, but you got Darren Till when Till was on a reign. He
So
lost
it's
there.
Joe
He lost to
Pfeiffer. It's
Izzy.
Joe,
Holy shit, that was one of the greatest fights ever.
brother. It's Joe Pfeiffer, Cannonier, Whitaker, Izzy, Izzy. It's Joe Pfeiffer, any of those three dudes.
No.
I got Gaslit, and I'm telling you, this is, you know how MMA Pup won the whole parlay because everyone's thinking this and that. This is that moment that no one wins the cards from me.
But here's
Gaslam is the fight that's going to save me if I put my cards up like I usually do for the whole week. Joe Pfeiffer. I don't even know what to say. Can I say anything great? Has it been long enough to say anything great?
No. But here's
Have
the
you
only
been
thing I
around
can. Here's the only thing I can say. All right, Kelvin isn't getting younger. Kelvin hasn't been fucking active doing shit. Right, his last fight was literally a year
the
ago. It's been a year. He got the win over D Rod, but I just remember him hugging and being sloppy as shit in that fight. I'm sorry, he got the judges to win him that fight, but he was fucking sloppy as shit in that fight. And then prior to that, in 23, he got hit with a Kimura. Simple first round loss to Brady. Made it nice and quick for him. We truly haven't seen Gaslam show up since 23. And it's
yeah,
not that he doesn't have the technicality and the know how. That's where he's actually given an advantage over Pfeiffer. He's far more technical than Pfeiffer. Does he still have that youth and that physique to absorb the shots and deal with what that's going to feel like coming from Pfeiffer? That's where this has all changed for me. And I'm with you, and I like the dog here in terms of betting. But if I was submitting right now for my Race to 100 contest, can I be the first content creator to do this? Tied for second. Really need a bounce back week to get back into the first column. I cannot
yeah.
truly pick Galvin in this fight because of where he's at
Oh, okay.
today. Where he's at today. That's it.
Okay, so if and we're good mates, so I'm going to sit back and go, okay, you need a fight, right? You're asking me, you ring me on the phone, you're asking me and going, hey, bro, man, you got anything to get me on top of this competition? Anything here this week that's going to fucking help me get in front of this fucking because I need to win. Like I said, Spivak, oh, but that wasn't the favorite. Gaslam. Gaslam's the one that would get you in front. You'd be the king dog.
Yeah.
You'd be the man of. You'd be.
It's a great dog. It's just that
But
I have to kind of
I
follow my
am going
gut
to say this.
instinct.
Remember what I said at the beginning. The older going out, the newer coming in. It's been a thing. We've been watching it. We've
Yeah.
seen our favorite fighters, brother. We've watched them. We've watched Holly Holmes, and we've watched people. People, I can't even remember the last, but there was a few Eggers and all. Everyone just throwing down gloves, right?
Mm-hmm.
At 35, sorry, again, I'm 52, but at your age, you're throwing down gloves, 35, 36, 37. There's not many that don't, you know what I mean? There's not many that get past the 35 mark. So
Yeah.
looking from a 52-year-old man, looking 20 years younger, and I'm looking at the sport, I can see what you're doing, and I can see the sport's intense. You know, it's not fucking karate sport anymore. This is the real deal. You're fighting the best people in the world. It's going to take a toll on you. So it's only the best that survive to the edges. That's why we have the fucking Islams and the fucking Robert Whitakers that are still going. But they will go. Robert will go soon. You saw what Hamza did to him.
Oh, 100%. I'm surprised
That's
he
been
wasn't gone,
and
truthfully.
Hamza, and that's what I'm saying. It's not that Robert's bad. That's just the new age, bro.
Yeah.
That's just the new fucking animal walking into the cage. We got a
Especially
hybrid
if it was like a
dinosaur walking in.
previously injured thing that became resurfaced in the fight. Like, yeah.
But not even that. Not even that, brother. I don't even think that. That would have happened anyway. If it wasn't under the chin, it would have gone. Hamzat walk. He would have run straight in there. He didn't know he had a broken jaw or a fucking thing. He just did what he did.
Yes.
This is the new generation. The old generation try and work it out. Oh, we'll spend 5 minutes, we'll spend time, we'll get to our fifth round, and then we'll win points, and then we'll do this. When's the last fighters that actually go in? Tom Aspinall's the new dude on the block, the heavyweight champion of the fucking world, that
Yeah.
doesn't point fight. Hamza is the
He
dude that
wants to,
runs
just no
in.
one can survive.
You know
Like, he
what?
wants to use the tools. It's just no one can
John
survive two
Silver.
minutes with him.
John Silver right now is the new dude that doesn't point fight. You know, like there's guys that are animals, mate, and there's guys that fucking are just fucking mental. Robert Whitaker's a point fighter.
Yeah.
He's a karate fighter. Wonder Boy, Down. We can go through 1,000 names, but let's go through 1,000 names on non-point fighters. GSP. is a point fighter. He fought by points. He took him to the ground. He dragged out rounds. Great fighter, legend. But let's go through guys that fucking fight and win. Conor McGregor was actually one of those dudes that fought and won. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where the sport's going. I know it's about the coin. When you get the belt, you get $1 million, right? Guaranteed.
Yep.
Sponsors,
Yep.
yep, you're set for life. You get that belt, it doesn't matter whether you regain it or not, right? So you're set. Understood. Um, I just don't see it. So I'm seeing these people that were looking on a card today, and I'm seeing point fighters. I'm seeing people who want it, and I don't know. I think the trends change. There was a meme the other day showing old fighters, Rampages and Dan Hendersons and Victor Belforts, compared to Sean O'Malley's, and you know what I mean? Like, oh, look at all the pretty cars and look at all the pretty hair. You know what I mean? We had real fucking that didn't point fight. That's why it was great. Now we got Ian Gary's. Love Ian Gary, right? I'm going to pull you out, Ian Gary. Not because of your personal life, because of your fighting style. You're boring as fuck, dude. You say you're the scaries. You say you step up. I could step up to you right now, dude, and run around you in a circle, not even fighting. And the judges go, well, MMA Toad never touched him. 5 rounds to none. Klausy wins. And all I did was run around. There's fighting, there's non-fighting. Like, it's just stupid and crazy. I know you're about to give me the cue, but
You're okay. No, it's you're not wrong in everything that you're saying. It's a different era entirely. Um, it's an interesting mix though because you have some of the biggest killers, but also some of the biggest clowns. And here we are in the UFC watching them fight each other. So um, you can be
all
a
right.
killer clown. Sometimes you can just be a clown. But yeah, we'll move up the card here.
So I believe my Mr. Toad, my man, my partner, the main event is Julia Pena versus Kayla Harrison, and the co-main event is O'Malley versus Marab. Now, why? Why would you say that? Why would you go, oh my God, you picked the woman over the man? Dude, Marab O'Malley, and if you go back to my posts, I have a post where I fucking predicted it and I actually screamed out, went, him in fucking cardio. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the thing. Marab O'Malley, boring. Like Yara, Yair, and Volk. Let's do that one again. Right? Which they are. They're doing that one again. So I'm fighting this fight personally boring. I'm not fighting the vibe. I'm not enjoying it. O'Malley is going to get drowned in the same cardio. You can train jiu-jitsu on the ground for 6 months. You can cut out your stuff. At the end of the day, 6 months is not going to cover what you've missed out on. You learnt at the first fight. The only way you win this fight is by a fucking, as he's running in, Marab is running in, you catch him.
Catch him
Okay,
where?
that is it. Catches him anywhere. Flying knee, an elbow, a straight teep kick.
Dude, I think
That's the only
Marab is
way.
so resilient that you have to like catch him
Yes,
perfect to the body, just like Sugar did in that last fight at the end of the fight. It's got to be like
mate.
a
By the
kick or
time
a knee to the
Sugar,
body or something.
it's going to be too late. I can't see it happening. It's going to be too late.
I'm not
By the
saying I'm
time
not
that
saying
time,
I'm not personally saying that's what happens. I'm saying if Sugar did it, if Sugar put away Marab, which is his only way of winning this fight, by the way, it's got to be going to the body. And I know Sugar knows this, and I know Tim knows this because Marab got hurt to the body at the end of Noche.
so every year, and no one knows this. I'm going to tell you something. I've been putting $10 every time Sugar fights on a submission.
Oh yeah.
every time. And people are going to go, "What the fuck? You might as well give him that to me." I'm going, no, because the guy keeps on stating year after year that he has this, but he loves knocking people out. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so my best long shot, and I actually am not saying I got every parlay. I have them 50-50 here. Okay, I believe Sugar will either fucking will. I think he's going to get that flying knee. I believe that stupid submission game that I've been putting that stupid $10 on for the fucking since he's got in the UFC is gonna pay off, right? So like, I've only lost like $90 every time I was put $10 on a submission. I do it with Israel Adesanya too. I know it sounds stupid, but Israel's got a fucking a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm just throwing it up there, but. Uh, if it's my perfect parlay and I win and won my no-J cards, right? I'm a marable all day, dude. I can't
Sure.
see what 6 months is going to fix. I can't see 6 months of wrestling. I can't see 6 months of running the mill and quitting dope. That guy never smoked to start with. So his lungs are
Yeah.
pretty clean, man. That guy doesn't drink to start with. His lungs are pretty good. His liver's all good. Um, you've got a lot of years to catch up on. You have a moment. You are the way better striker. You're the most fluid striker in the UFC. Your striking is immaculate. What I would ask him to do, Sean, dude, if you're that good, he shouldn't be able to touch you. How's that sound? Anderson Silva did it.
Yeah.
Israel Adesanya did it for a long time. Yep.
Well,
So,
did either of them have the
yep.
machine running at them? Yeah.
And this is what I'm thinking. The only person I can think as a machine in Australia would be Volk. The cardio, just the
Sure,
same
I'm
cardio as
using the two
Moran.
examples you just gave, Silva and Adesanya, also at middleweight. Did they have the machine coming at them? These lower wiry divisions at 135 pounds are all these guys that have wrestling in their back pocket. Grappling is a big part of these lower weight divisions. It's not sitting at range throwing powerful shots because bantamweights and flyweights don't hit knockouts like a routine thing. They're always in fast-paced scrambles, fast-paced, takedown defenses and shit. And that was what was so unique about Sugar is he was this striker who had that range, had that length, kind of like Sandhagen, which is why I'm so pissed they never made that fight after he lost. So at least set up a rematch that way, and Sandhagen got his money fight that he so well deserves. Which, by the way, I'm laughing my ass off because I'm like, all right, Pena versus Harrington. Let's get into it. Or Harrison. Let's get into it. And here we are, right here on Sugar and Marab. At the end of the day, Marab did show signs like, okay, I can be hurt to the body, but it takes a very special shot. You're right. Sugar learning jiu-jitsu within 6 months, giving up IG. Maybe he's banging his own wife now, and maybe it's not the gym guys anymore, so he's getting an extra workout there. All these little things he's doing now to become the best him going into this fight will never be enough to beat Marab, not even on his worst day. He's aiming for a sniper shot, and I'm sorry, but I'm on the belief that if you ran that fight back with Aljo wins. He hit the perfectly placed step back fucking shot on Aljo. Otherwise, Aljo gets a hold of Sugar and has his way with him. Now, Marab has learned a lot since then, since that last fight, in the sense that Marab actually knows how to hold Sugar down to the ground this fight. I don't know if people know that or have been following it or whatever, but Aljo and Marab have spent more time since that fight,
Yeah,
and Marab is going to hold Sugar to the ground and not let Sugar get up. And I could see this resulting in, funny enough, everyone's parlays and shit are probably Marab decision. Wouldn't that be the fucking upset if Marab actually got a submission or a TKO and
yeah,
just bombed your
mate.
fucking parlay?
There's an embedded video that came out today where they were wrestling on the
Yes.
mat. I think it was number two, and Aljo was sitting back going, "That's my move, bro.
Yeah,
That's my
exactly.
move." That's my
Exactly.
move. You sneaky little bastard,
And
sort of. Not
Elja's
this
the fucking
great. All right.
backpack, bro. Elja's the
Yeah,
backpack.
you fucker. That's my fucking jiu-jitsu move. That's my shit. So let's. You got to get to sleep. And let me say this before we end this last conclusion, man. My brother, I love you. I'm going to say that with all the passions of my heart. I'm glad to team up with you, mate. Uh, I really hope that people believe in as much and love the people that will follow us and all you people listening. If you love just to shoot shit. And the guest appearances are you guys. I don't have any guests. I have you guys.
Yeah,
You
no, there's
guys.
there's already
All our
acquaintances in the
followers.
MMA space, card collectors, fight fans,
Yeah.
betters. We already have a list.
All our
Not to
followers.
mention, there's fighters. A couple of us talked to a few fighters that have their own fights coming up that maybe they want to shoot the shit. They're not gonna
Yeah.
bullshit with us through an entire card the amount of time we spent on it. But that's where it's more organized and themed for
Hello?
that and themed for them and their time. What's their fight coming
I
up?
get
What's
we
going
get
on?
50 subscribers on YouTube. Send me the link so I know what to type in as when I go into when I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
my
yeah. I
posts.
got you, bro.
I can do at this and at that and at all of that. Oh, by the way, I want to show you something before we line off.
Well, did you want to break down
Oh,
Pena and Harrison?
yeah. Okay, I'll make this one quick, but I do want to show you this. This is more exciting. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, here we go.
Oh shit! Nice Tito Ortiz gold. You got the Moreno tie dye. Oh
Ah,
shit.
that was my gift. Anyway, all right, let's quickly finish this off.
Okay.
Kenya Harrison.
So hold on. I want to go back real quick on O'Malley and Marab. We don't have the props and bets in front of us, but wouldn't you say it'd be a long shot, but somehow doable if Marab actually
Well,
improved
in
his
Australia,
jiu-jitsu
I'm
to get the
paying
sub?
$3.75 just for the win, for Sean O'Malley. So I can't go past that. I had to do a bit of coin on Sean O'Malley at three
Sure.
dollars. So $100 gives me $375
Yep.
if Sean O'Malley just wins.
Yes. Because Marab's
So
tough.
I
And
already
despite
put
O'Malley looked like he lost all but maybe one round last
I
fight.
put $100 on that already, brother. That's done.
That's sick. That's
Okay,
a good prop. I would
that
do it too.
covers all of my shit. I'm not asking for a knockout or submission. I'm covering my bets, right? I've got a few parlays on Sean, but a lot of it is finishing on Marab, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
So, but if Sean O'Malley does win, I make all my money back plus 150
There you go.
just for $100. So
So
at $3.75, I think you're an idiot not to invest a little bit of coin against a guy that has the best striking in the UFC, as far as the top five, like we went through that. A guy that seems recommitted, has got a second kid. Um, he did stop everything. Everyone's laughing about that. But you know what it's like in life. When you stop drugs, when you stop pop, when you stop fucking beer, when you stop life, when you stop sex, you stop it for a fucking reason. And you know what? Sometimes it makes you feel fucking better. And if he stopped all of that and he's walking back in here rekindled, alive, mate, don't. That's a live dog, motherfucker. So $3.75,
yep.
$100 can make you $375. I'm in on Sean O'Malley as a great long shot.
That's a great take. That's a great bet. And yeah, O'Malley easily best dog on the whole card. It's something we're not used to seeing, especially last time out. Marab was doubted. He's proven himself then. Came out as a dog against Umar. Proved himself then. Now the bookies finally give Marab the respect. And honestly, it's tough because most people looking at a prop like this, there's no money to be had. So you dig into it and you always look at Marab decision. But I'm telling you, it's one of two ways. if Marab's learned what he's learned from Aljo, and he's incorporating
Submission.
some new scary weapons that he can incorporate on Sugar to keep this fight to the ground and be actually threatening for a finish. Because let's face it, every ending of a round
I love that.
is still a big eye opening.
I,
Like,
love,
okay,
I know what you're saying. Just say it. Murad by submission, bro. You've
well, no,
got
no,
it.
no,
That's
no.
where you
Sure,
go.
sure. That's what that just implied is
I, I
don't be
love it.
getting your
I love
don't
it.
be getting all your
That's
eggs in one
exciting.
basket. Don't be getting all your eggs in one basket that Marab's gonna win by decision, because I don't think the road to victory for him is intending that. Listen, O'Malley, every time you reset a fight with him and he's back on his feet again, just like Noche showed, round 5, you're allowing him back into this fight. O'Malley says he has weapons that he couldn't show during his sparring, which I don't know why they record that anyways for the fucking his own like personal vlog. But
Yeah,
anyways,
yeah.
O'Malley did a final sparring session and then looks at the camera after. I couldn't use all my weapons because I'm being recorded. The guy wrestling you didn't fucking look like he was committed to his shots. He's trying not to injure you so he doesn't fuck up your last chance at really getting a shot at this belt without actually having to deserve it against some top guys. Um, okay, throw your fucking knees, throw your whatever you think you're gonna do, your spinning back kicks to catch Marab coming in. He's got to play a perfect game of chess. He is a sniper. He is a sharpshooter,
How
and he can
about
do it.
how
That's
about
his
if he
only way
comes
of
out?
hitting it, man. It's his only
How
way.
about if he comes out and starts throwing out that shit at the beginning?
Yeah,
You threw it at the end, right? Marab's already.
exactly.
Do you know when someone gets comfortable? So I'm sparring you, you're sparring me. You're bigger, I'm smaller and quicker. I'm like a little mouse running around throwing jabs in and out and that. You know, do you want to make me too comfortable? For what? You want like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes? By the time you get to about 10 minutes, man, I'm already carving you up like Joshua Van's. Like we're talking about Joshua
Yep,
Van. By the
yep,
time we get about 10 minutes, man, I'm fucking carving you up, cunt. You're done.
for sure. No, I mean it's
I'm
again.
sort of.
I like Sugar here by finish because again, also I don't see O'Malley winning a decision against the guy who's setting all-time takedown records when O'Malley clearly doesn't have the best takedown defense and best ground game. Period.
And do
Like
remember
Marab
the
will be
old
winning on
interviews of
points.
O'Malley saying he wants to use it. This old interviews back in the day saying he wants to use his jiu-jitsu. Really old ones. If the odds are like 25 to 1, I'm throwing $10 because he
Sure.
has been working on
We
his
do it
ground for
with
6 months,
Dustin too.
right?
You know what I mean? We have fun
Yeah.
with submission props. I hit a Yuri. I hit the Yuri submission against Glover Teixeira, and it paid out like plus 2000 prop. It was like a 20 to 1 payout because I had Yuri choking Glover.
Did you pick that?
Yeah, I did. I picked that.
Oh my God! Did you pick
I
that? Did you?
fucking picked that.
You all wanted. See, that's why we do this fucking show because
Yeah.
that's one in a billion people that would have picked Yuri Priiska because I had that man. Oh, I lost a lot of money because of that fucking stupid submission by Yuri, brother.
Yep. I had him by submission. I had a
Wow.
parlay by a knockout, and I said it to my friend exactly this way. I said Yuri is so awkward and hits people with so much like punishing shots out of nowhere that I could see even Glover being foolish enough to give up his back because he's trying to recover, coil up, protect his face, and I could see Yuri just raining down shots from behind until the opportunity's there to slip a rear naked choke. And I don't care what your accolades are, everyone's susceptible
Honestly,
to a
if
fucking
you
rear naked
if you pick
choke.
that one,
Yeah, I
you
did.
are fucking. You
I
no,
picked
because that's a one in a million.
I
No,
picked
because that
Yuri
on my end, you know
submission
what?
rear naked
That was
choke. I called it. I didn't
that was
call the round,
paying.
but
Do you know what that was paying on my end for a submission? $31 to 1. $100 got you fucking three. Like
yeah,
it was a huge fucking show. I can't believe you brought that up because that was one fight I do remember very clearly.
$5 won
Um,
me $100.
yeah, that was fucking crazy. The odds on that
And
were
it's because
made.
I didn't need to. I already knew that I was confident with Yuri. I felt Glover he is kind of at the end of
He
his
was
reign. You know,
winning
his
that
time.
fight, bro. I believe Glover was winning that fight.
He was surprisingly. I mean, he did fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
he was fucking, he was winning till the submission. It was like 3 rounds to one. Like,
Yeah,
I was locked in the bag, and even in the fifth round,
that's why I was
Glover was still
screaming.
winning, man.
I was losing my
It
fucking
was,
shit.
man, it was fucking me on my end. See, this is why we are opposite, because on my end, I was like, oh my God, this is, like, I had Glover submission or points. And I definitely had points up to that stage, right? I was like,
Yeah.
definitely I got 3 rounds right now. I got fucking 3 rounds, brother. And then honestly, it was an amazing effort. I will never forget that. There's amazing moments that are unpredictable in gambling, and that was an odds
That
that
was
no
it.
one
Yeah.
predicted except my boy over here.
I mean, I'm sure others hit it, but
Boo!
it was a fucking lucky one. But what I was trying to make
Thank
that
you for
example
bringing that
was
up.
is, you know, Dustin has his submission odds. O'Malley has his. The reason they pay 20 to 30 to 1 is it truly will only hit 30 out of one fucking fight. You know what I mean? It's so fucking ridiculously small, especially against someone like, Marab. Eh, yeah, it'd be tough to do, but it's cool that he interviewed saying once upon a time he wanted to hit one. I just
No,
yeah,
no, no, no. That one's a kudos to you because that's actually a fight that I remember.
yep,
I remember losing money. I remember the fifth round submission. I remember my boy Glover because I love Glover. I think he's a great man. He's a good man. He represents the sport. He's an
yep,
old school gentleman. And by the way, he's younger than me. So all these fighters that I talk about old school, like I feel so old, but I'm actually older than all of them.
yep.
Anyway, with that being said, that was an awesome fight. Yeri, I would say this to you, my friend. Train in the woods, do your shit up, but keep your hands up, brother.
Yeah, I know, I know.
It's just that plain and simple. It's just that plain and simple. Keep your hands up.
I'm
You're
surprised Hill
you're
didn't knock him.
magnificent.
I'm so surprised
Yeah,
Hill didn't knock him.
yeah.
Holy
Just
shit.
keep your hands up. You get damaged too much. Uh, keep your hands up. Bar that, mate. Where are we at? Because
Right here. This is
I'm
where we're
gonna.
at. This is
All
the
right,
last
hey,
fight. We're gonna do it right now. We got Juliana Pena taking on Kayla Harrison. This fight
I've done
builds
this
up a
fight
lot of
3 times. I'm gonna say this. All right, this is me fully unplugged. Taylor Harrison is going to absolutely maul my beautiful, beautiful Pena. So sexy, so well spoken. Probably the best fucking shit talking woman in the UFC. Makes women's
she
fucking fighting exciting
she
again.
could be
But
a
my
heel in the
girl,
WWE. She's a professional heel for sure.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
but definitely this girl here, right there. Anyone, and this is what I'm going to say: when someone, and they can throw UFC belts, but when I'm old school, I'm 50. There was no UFC belts, but you know what was back in my day, bro?
Hmm.
Olympics, Olympic champions. All right, that was always the pinnacle of sport before all the bullshit came through. You're either, if it was tennis, you're either a Wimbledon champion. If it's fucking sports, any sport, you're a Olympic champion. If it's golf, you're a Masters champion. There's some tournaments that do it, and Olympians do it for me, brother. Ronda Rousey and this Kayla Harrison. Look, and I'm not going to do that stupid bullshit, right, Pena? You fucking. This is where I'd like. Don't be a dick, man. Genetic freak, healthy, maybe was on steroids, not anymore. Who cares? She's clean. She's up there right now. She might have been when she was young. I took a course of steroids when I was 18 years old.
Yeah, I
Three
mean, for
months.
me,
Amazon,
I
you know what
kind
I
of
mean? But I
did you
took
see the interview with Mike Brown?
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
I
I
mean,
didn't.
he basically said like at the end of the day, there's those who will train their life at the gym, strive for these things, but it's not possible. Then you get somebody like
Oh,
Harrison, where they literally care so much, they go beyond what people would strive for as being known as like possible or
yeah,
achievable, and they go beyond that. And it just so happens that they
that
genetically are
that
capable of much more. And that's where Harrison
that
fits this bill,
Olympian.
I think.
And I'm going to tell you one thing. There's one belt. Unless the UFC can get MMA can get into the Olympics, there's only one belt that defines Olympic gold.
Yeah.
Okay, and I hate to say this, but Dana would agree with this. He's been working to get UFC into the Olympics for all his life. He wanted it. That was his goal. He got into a major sport, but it's not an Olympic sport. MMA will, I hope, will become
Become
an
one, yeah.
Olympic sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when it does, when MMA becomes an Olympic sport, how much is the UFC belt worth? Apart from would you like the UFC MMA belt or would you like the MMA Olympic belt?
Yeah. No kidding.
Olympics, Olympics has got a stigma to it, which is 200 years.
Well, you're
That
adopting a history that the UFC didn't get to be
yeah,
part of by being part of it now. 100%.
and and I would say this to Dana. He created this. They're about to steal it from you, bro. They're
Yeah.
about to take your brand, the UFC, and it's now going to be called the Olympics. And when it does, your belt, your actual belt, your UFC belt, the world champion, what's it compared to Olympic MMA champion of the world?
Yeah. I
That's a
mean,
that's a that's an interesting topic, right?
yeah,
I'm going to
sure.
throw that at you. That's something we can talk about. If MMA becomes an Olympic sport, and I'm a gold medalist in the Olympics for MMA, but I haven't got a UFC belt. Who's tougher? Who's
Yeah.
got the more grind here? Is it the Olympic belt or is it UFC belt? Dana did something. He got it that far, it went to the Olympics. But what you might have a problem with, Dana, is if it does go to the Olympics and people actually get a gold medal in MMA, mixed martial arts, that's all due to you, Godfather,
Yep.
right? But what's your UFC belt worth now?
Yeah. No kidding. What's your whole company worth?
Yeah, what's it
Getting some
worth?
fucking high paying
Yeah,
sponsors from all around the world. Then you talk about
what's your
then you talk about like Dana's past like history of like how would they view events like Noche and shit, especially as future progresses, and we can only expect more arenas to get more technology, more this and that. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, MMA is probably best indoors, away from the
the
elements, away
biggest?
from the bullshit.
Well,
So, yeah,
think about the biggest sporting event in the world that defines the best athletes in the world. It's still the Olympic Games. It's still to today the Olympic Games.
yep.
Literally, it's
So,
still. It's not the Winter Olympics. It's not. It's just the Olympic Games in summer. The Olympic Games. The best athletes in the world. Um, and he's monopolized the best martial artists in the world over here, right?
yep.
But he does want it to go Olympic. I don't think he should. I think if you go Olympic, you're done. I think you're done. If I have a gold Olympic medal, why do I need to? Do you know? I do want to fight for you, but you got to give me a bit more money, dude, because I'm an Olympic gold medal. I'm not PFL medalist. I'm
Yeah.
not Bellator. I'm an Olympic gold medalist. Like Gable Stevenson,
Sure.
who's
But
jumping in
But
right
Dana's also
fucking
shown to not
now.
really honor. the power of gold medalists entirely too. When people thought that they had reign over him and his company and a buyback value like Triple C.
And I would have to say this, Bo Nickel, yeah, cool, you're a great wrestler. I don't know you, Bo Nickel, unless I followed MMA. You're jack shit to fuck all. You're just a fucking Division 3 1, 3 times winner in American
Which is
wrestling.
amazing. But yeah, I know it just didn't
Yeah,
transition
but
MMA
who
as
are
strong
you?
as it could have.
Who are you?
I have
You aren't
no.
an Olympic medalist. Henry Cejudo is an Olympic medalist. You dog. You're like,
I
I
know that.
know
What
the
I'm
Olympic
saying is
medalist.
the UFC historically was in a scenario where they could have valued having somebody come back at a higher pay based on being a double champion within their organization, based on being a gold Olympian wrestler. Didn't matter. You know what I mean? It wasn't enough to like be like,
And
well,
it
fine,
worked.
fuck you.
And it worked. And it did work. The formula did work. We're going to bring in great Americans. We're going to rebuild the American fucking
No, that's not what I said. I'm making the
rebranding.
example of when Henry Cejudo wanted to step away from the UFC as a ploy to get more money, and the UFC said, fuck you, and
No,
didn't
but
bring back Cejudo.
what I'm trying to say, brother, is the UFC started. They saw fucking money coming out of wrestlers.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
They
gotcha.
did. Okay, they saw money coming out of American wrestlers, not wrestlers, Americans. They saw Henry Cejudo, man. They bled that shit dry. Triple C, they used all that. They used it. They used Bo Nickel till he lost. Look how much they're going to use him now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're using American wrestling as their forefront.
Because it's a bunch of fucking white suburban, pretty
And
cushy
actually,
families that can
can
afford
I
all the
ask
pay per
you this?
views and buy all the fucking
Uh,
shit.
yeah, it's American wrestling like an everyday sport. We you guys like we're not brought up with wrestling here, by the way.
It's
So uh,
American wrestling's become a lot more popular and kids are doing it now. It wasn't like that growing up, but it's become that way. Generally, most people didn't wrestle until they were like in junior high or high school. And then from there it became a college sport, right? But like now in today's culture, like you have 4 and 5 year olds wrestling, boys and girls. Like wrestling's become very much part of American culture at this point, yeah. But I would say like
what, I,
it's
what
still not your basketball. It's still not your football for us,
so
American
what I
football.
can say from the outside looking in. So I'm not American. I don't live there. I don't know the culture. I don't know who the great warriors are. Can I say warriors? I
No.
think that would be a great respect. I don't know who you great warriors are. So I see a few great warriors. They come across YouTube, these wrestlers and that. But I see everything's always based around wrestling. Wrestling, 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 wrestling. Chris Weidman, go out, round. It's all wrestling. It's wrestling, wrestling. It's all the background. I don't actually see God, fuck man. Don't even a great martial artist coming
Well,
out of
that's
that
what I've been
region.
trying to say earlier on that very first like pick or so. Just because you're an amazing college wrestler doesn't mean it transitions to MMA. They're actually quite different. The placement of your head and where you're absorbing shots now, whereas before you were kind of safe. Like wrestling,
So, so
wrestling is a
thumbs up to
great
my eye.
base. Wrestling is a great base to MMA, but it's either you're combining it with the hands or you're doing more. More preferably, I'd like to see more wrestlers get comfortable with is jiu-jitsu. I don't need Bo Nickel trying to prove himself on the feet. That's not what got him to the dance. Wrestle, take your fucking opponent down, get him to the ground, and be comfortable on the ground. The moment he stopped doing that
So
shit and he tap danced with Paul Craig and DeRitter, guess what? DeRitter, unlike Paul Craig, knew how to fucking throw a punch and a knee down the middle.
I'm going to go back to this week's fucking pay per view. The
Yeah, I'm
reason
wrapping
I've
this one
sort of,
up, and I wanted to talk about this
yeah,
super
no,
quick too.
just the
So
last main fight, my brother.
let me
I'm going to
just lead the
switch
dance
that.
here, if you will, my good sir, because I've
Yeah,
been
I'm going to
really
lead it
itching to
right
give
now to
off.
the end. Right now to the end. Marab said he wants to try his stand up. He thinks he's evolved enough. Like I said, can Sean evolve enough himself in 6 months to beat Marab? No. Can Marab evolve himself in 6 months to sit back and go, I want to try Marab? Only way to victory is do what you did, Sean. Only way to victory is to stay away from him. Like Marab is saying, I want to stand up with Sean O'Malley because I think I'm a better striker. I will say this, Marab, right now. You're a fucking idiot. An absolute fucking tool. Do not stand up with that dude. You drive him into the ground and you do exactly what you fucking did. If you decide to tell the world, which you did on social media, that you want to stand up with Sean O'Malley,
So here's the
he
thing.
will
Here's
carve
the
you
thing
up.
too. Here's I'm just gonna just give a quick take on that too, and then move on to this last breakdown so we can disperse from here. I want to just say that I do believe in fighters giving a false game plan to, give the media this impression that they're going one way, like route A, when they're in fact going route B. Marab knows he shouldn't stand up with Sugar. Marab knows that Sugar would actually win the fight this way. He's only saying this to maybe make Sugar
Bilal,
think differently.
Bilal Muhammad was the. Sorry, I have to break in, dude.
No, you're
Sorry,
fine.
man.
It's a
That
quick
was the
example to
last
make.
idiot.
Bilal Mohammed
The
just
last
literally fucking
idiot to
shit the bed
decide,
because he wanted
yeah,
to he
I
wanted to
want to
box with
stand
JDM.
up and fight JDN.
Yes. It's stupid as fuck. And
I
so
want to stand up and box with JDN.
and that's why
Like,
I'm
dude,
telling you, Marab is not that fucking stupid. Like, he's stupid and stubborn, but he's not that fucking stupid. If he comes out on the feet and doesn't want to shoot wrestling, all your fucking sugar slips are hitting easy. I'm just telling you, Marab will say whatever he wants to the camera. He's never fought that way, and he
I'm
never
just
will. He was
hoping,
the
like,
fucking
I'm just saying
machine.
to all the fans out there, I hope, like, to all the fans, and don't worry, we all invest money, right? So every
Yeah.
single one of our followers are putting $5, $10 and shit. What I'm saying is, I'm just saying, like, I beg your pardon. Marab, if you want to win this fight, don't stand up with the slickest strike artist in the UFC
Yes.
downfold
He already got a good
at
taste
all.
of it in round 5 at Noche. He's not doing it, especially from the start. He's going to be the
Don't.
machine. All right, so getting into the co-main event, which is now the main event for Klausy and me, because this was the main event according to him originally. Um, here's how it is. I saw a lot of people give Pena flowers all week long, and well, I shouldn't say all week long. Earlier today, yesterday, I've seen people already give Juliana Pena some flowers for doing what she did against Amanda Nunes. I want to be maybe the first to say Amanda was coming off COVID. Amanda was very weak and drained. And if you've gone through those symptoms and that experience, you know firsthand that you probably wouldn't take a 5 round fight, especially. Amanda was pale in the face. She was not herself. Her retirement fight was to come out and drag Juliana Pena for 25 minutes. And I was such a fool to do my typical Amanda Nunes by finish because she didn't want the fight to end. She wanted to prove to all of us, everyone, undoubtedly, like, hey, look, I was actually really fucking ill last camp going into this fight. Had fucking COVID, barely got cleared in time for the fight. I'm gonna show you that this is not like she got lucky or this and that. It was a me thing. And when you can talk about that kind of domination coming from Amanda Nunes, I think it's easy to imagine Harrison having the same success. Harrison's going to sweep Pena through the air, big hip toss, have her on the ground. You can expect a slam or two. Harrison's picking up Pena and fucking slamming the piss out of this bitch because of all the animosity, all the shit talk, all the bullshit. It's happening. Now, Juliana, her best weapons is being at range, trying to time Harrison. And it's not like she's going to be able to really prevent the takedown from Harrison, but what is she exchanging? Is she hitting any kind of knees? Is she able to survive the submissions, go back to the feet? It's kind of a similar matchup twice in a row, the co-main and main event. It's either Marab is getting the takedowns and winning on the control, or Harrison getting the takedowns and threatening the finish. That's how both those fights end, very cut and dry. very much dependent on whether or not the fight goes to the ground or not. Because Harrison, we are not sitting here wondering when she's going to hit this big knockout shot or this big knockout kick. She's hitting finishes, sure, but she's taking her opponents to the ground, and that's where she kind of lays into them. So, just going to conclude on that. I think Harrison finishes Pena within the first three. If she doesn't, Juliana could actually be cooking up something. And so I'm going to recommend everyone takes a look at live props on this fight. And if Juliana Pena is going into the fourth round and she's losing the fight, which is assumably so, that's what's happening. She's live. So, anyways, brother, that's going to be it for us. You want to wrap up with anything on the fight yourself? Anything
Mate,
else?
I've got one last thing with
Yeah.
the Harrison. Here we go. Uh, it's not about Harrison versus Juliana Pena to me at all. It's Harrison have, if they fought, could have beat Nunes.
Well, that's
Harrison
going
could
to
beat
happen at the end
Nunes.
of this fight. Yeah.
Harrison, no, this is where I'm going. Harrison could beat Nunes. Nunes can beat Pena. Harrison wins by TKO. I'm not even going to buy TKO submission. She's going to elbow the fuck out of that Pena. It's done. It's dusted. It's not about Harrison and Pena anymore. Could Harrison beat the greatest bantamweight in the world, which is Junior Amanda Nunes?
Yeah.
Can she do it? Yes, I believe she can. So if you believe she can do that, can she beat Julia Pena? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
If she can beat
sure.
fuck that,
I
she
actually
can. So,
I think Nunes would be a problem for Harrison just because of
mate,
Amanda's
no,
striking.
I'm sorry. No, when we get to that fucking pick, me and you are going to have many discussions, my friend. But I totally disagree with you. I could see where you're going, but that's another live episode.
I'm
I'm
not
going to tell
saying
you
it's
what,
a
my brother.
one-sided fight. I think it's a bit of a pick 'em because
Hey,
both women are fucking live for a finish in that fight.
my man, this is how we're going to sign it off.
Yeah.
This is our sign off. My brother, MMA Toad, I love ya.
Well,
I
you
don't
got
know what time it is there.
it's
Don't know what time it is in.
it's like 2:30, but we'll get a little nap in before work,
Go
brother.
to bed. I
Sounds
love
good.
you.
Love you
Hey, I
guys.
think we got some. Hey, all to all our fans, to you, my bro. Boom!
Boom.
I
Thank you
see you.
guys so much for tapping in. This was UFC 316, the world's longest fucking breakdown by Lethal Toad MMA. It was a pleasure. We can literally branch MMA from one fighter through the entire roster, through our entire collections of
We will
cards.
all do this, Toad, before we leave. We'll do this. We'll look at each other and go, wow, that was intense. That was an intense breakdown. It was intense.
It was
It
a
wasn't the
dude.
15 minutes. It wasn't your parlay bets. It was let's shoot shit. So you want an intense breakdown? You want to watch some fucking cool shit? I hope you cut all our cool shit, Toe, guys. I think we got some cool shit there, brother.
I probably have more random clips throughout tonight than I will know how to piece together, or at least time effectively. But
Dude,
it will be a great video for anyone who've ever made it this far. I appreciate you. Let's have you use the code Lethal Toad using an @ symbol for the A, and I will ship you one of
you ship
these
me my shit.
guys. I will ship you one of these guys. It's a UFC action figure with a piece of an octagon. Get 8 of them, collect them, whatever. I'm only going to do this for the first person
Oh,
because I want to know who my first Lethal Toad mega fan is. So these things are running about 25 a piece according to the resellers. If you're able to find them in stores, they're 10 a pop. But
very
I'm happy
excited.
to ship this anywhere in the world to
That's
you,
fucking cool.
to the first
Yeah,
Lethal
what?
Toad fan.
Fuck
So
shipping and lethal Toad. MMA Toad. Fuck shipping. I'm going to buy all of them. I want them all for my collection. I'm a very selfish man. As you know, my collection is very personal, bro. On this side, I want them all. But you know what? If you fucking want those guys, you better beat fucking Lethal Hand Collectibles, because he's taking all of those pieces, man. You get onto MMA Toad, you fucking get them, because if you're not buying them, I'm bidding for them or asking for them, I'm taking them
Yeah.
because he's my best friend. And I'm just going to fucking get it and ship it to me. So,
Well, he's
fuck
gonna
you
get his
guys.
first dose of crack. I haven't opened a single one yet. I've been uh,
Yeah,
I've been
hey,
waiting.
in Australia, we all roll like this. Boom, motherfucker. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi,
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 oi.
oi. See
Much
you,
love,
mate.
man.
Good night.
Cheers. Yep. We haven't opened any of
Love you,
those,
brother.
but we will be doing it eventually and sometime soon. You better be on stream or hanging out with me when we're opening all those fucking figures.
Mate, yeah. You just got to teach me how to do all that shit, and I'm with you.
No,
You
you're
got me
good,
on
man.
Discord, so that's a start,
We're
right?
doing it right
You got
now,
an
bro.
old man, right?
All right, guys.
52. Dude, I should have a fucking cane. Love you, man. Good night.
Love you too, man. Peace. Much love. Thanks for tapping in. All
You
right,
too, mate.
guys.
Bye, bye.
That's episode 1 of the official UFC breakdowns. We're gonna have more episodes. Technically, we did a recap video. I looked on the YouTube channel. It was a long one, as you guys can imagine. It didn't upload successfully. So technically, this is episode 1, but we did a test run recapping that horrific fucking fight night last week. That didn't even have the main event, by the way, Blanchfield and uh, Macy Barber. So, anyways, interesting takes. Thanks for bearing with us again. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I love catching up with Lethal Collectibles. He's fucking hilarious. So, yeah, Lethal Hand Collectibles, give him a follow. Big shout out to the man. Wouldn't be having as much fun looking at the cards without him. And very excited for our little gift exchanges in the mail. He's a huge Whitaker fan. This was my first ever Zebra Whitaker. Again, we'll fix lighting in the future so you guys can see these cards a little better, stuff like that a little better. But yeah, looking like I'm gonna send him out a little patty, Whitaker, a couple patties, and based on some conversations tonight, some other cards too that I think you'll appreciate, and one of those little UFC figurines. So if you want your shot at one of those figurines, the secret code first to comment on YouTube must be following or subscribed. And if you guys wouldn't all mind, please like in the video. Go ahead and use the code Lethal Toad. Put that into the comment, and we can verify everything. The subscribe and all that privately, and then as long as that's confirmed, that's yours. So appreciate you guys. Much love, and best of luck on the gold figure if you are in fact the winner of that figure. That little UFC collectible. All right, guys. UFC 316 breakdown concluded. Again, it's been a pleasure. This is MMA Toad. We'll catch you after the card or before it, and obviously next week. All right, take care. Bye.